Guilty on all counts.
The eye drops homicide trial ends with Jessy Kurczewski breaking down in tears as she was taken back to her jail cell. Fox 6's Brett Lemoyne was in court today when that verdict came down. Brett, how long did it take for the jury to reach the decision?
Stephanie, after roughly 11 hours of deliberation across 2 days, a jury of 7 men and 5 women sat silent as Judge Jennifer Doro read their verdicts in court. Jessy Kurczewski broke down in tears. At times, that was the only sound that you could hear in the room. Ultimately, the jury determined Kurczewski poisoned her friend, Lynn Hernan, with eye drops. She stole tens of thousands of dollars from Hernan's bank account while she was alive. Kurczewski forged Hernan's signature and took out loans and credit cards in Hernan's name, and also stole thousands more from Hernan's estate. The defense brought in witnesses to testify Hernan was sick and suicidal. Hernan died in October of 2018. At the time, police thought her death was a suicide. It wasn't until months later when toxicology reports came back and a second beneficiary of Hernan's will started asking some financial questions that the death was ruled a homicide. Anthony Poza spent every day in the courtroom. Poza was close friends with Hernan. Kurczewski took money from Hernan's estate that should have gone to him.
She was a compassionate, humble, and very generous person. She would give you the shirt off her back if she knew it would look good on you. When I learned of Lenny's passing, I immediately knew something was awry and not reality. I thank God every day for the detectives and DA that represented this case.
I think that we, going into it, believed the financial aspect was the motive for the murder. But our team has discussed this, and we really believe that the defendant's own statements in this case were extremely compelling evidence.
Have a seat. This is my partner, Erin. Erin, this is Jessy and her mother. I'm sorry. Jessy, right?
Hi, Jessy.
You have a seat right there. We're going to grab you another chair.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Erin.
Erin, okay.
Nice
I'm
to
good.
meet
You as well. Yeah, she was a good friend with Lynn, so she kind of wanted to know what's going on. Sure. Yeah, of course.
Theoretically, I am assigned to this case.
Okay.
But we got a new boss here a little bit ago and kind of changed protocols on us. Because back in the day, I've been doing this a long time.
Sure.
We didn't look at this stuff. Yeah, me kind of called down and said, you're all good. And now he has us investigating it, I kind of back on it.
Sure.
So when you called, yeah, I knew the name and I had glanced over it. Yeah. But I'm waiting for the ME to call me and say, hey, we're all done, death certificate signed, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little surprised when he sent the phone. You had concerns about the hospital?
When I talked to the medical examiner last, I talked to him numerous times. The first couple times, they said there was a few issues as far as health-wise. She had like 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said they were waiting on toxicology.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they sent out the second samples or tissues, something. And then they stopped saying anything. And they said I had to contact you guys.
And that's when I got the boss.
Okay. And I'm going, I just want to know, because they kind of, weren't sure. We didn't know if it was a suicide or if it was something medical. She was in the hospital shortly before. She's been sick for years. We really weren't sure, if this is something, because the doctors could never figure out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was frustrating, and she had literally probably 10 boxes of medical documents.
Okay.
And, we just didn't know. And, I know what state she was in and where she was at, but I didn't. It's kind of frustrating because I was there all the time taking care of her. I'm the one who took her to the doctor. I'm the one who did everything. So the not knowing, and I wasn't there with her.
There is a medical
So
issue.
it bothers me because I go, could I have been there? Could I have helped? Could I have done something? That's my hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
I've never found anybody before, and it's not something I ever want to do again. So.
The medical examiner, they're very thorough.
Yeah.
I barely graduated high school. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're super smart. When they talk to me sometimes, I'm like, hey, you got to figure it out.
Well, that's when they were talking to me. I'm going, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, I don't understand, So
at this point, they're waiting for their secondary, they call them confirming tests. But there doesn't appear, there's no trauma to the body, nothing like that. She had medical issues, which I think is pretty well documented with her medical record.
Well, I want to know, that's what I want to know, if it's in her head. If this has been 5 years worth in her head.
It's frustrating because the doctors could never find anything, you know. And I mean, they found little things, but not.
She just kept doing repeat checks
for
years.
3 months. I mean, she'd have a bowl of soup once a week.
Yeah.
And she had such stomach issues, and she was just frustrated. And finally, the last time we went in, which was 4 days before she passed, that she got out. She was in for 2 weeks. And
where'd she go? Waukesha?
Pro Healthcare, Waukesha.
Waukesha, like just up the road. The
The
hospital right up the road.
Was she in the clinic or the hospital?
No, she was admitted to the ER, and then they. But it was Pro Healthcare. It was right here, I think.
Oh, I thought it was Waukesha.
This is Waukesha.
Yeah, I think Pewaukee is
WMH.
Yeah, I know. Actually, close to here because there was like the same exit. So.
And you said in the lobby that you and Miss Hernan were friends?
Yeah, she's my best friend.
How long have you known her?
Over 30 years.
High school together or something?
No.
We lived in the same apartment.
Okay.
So she was like an aunt, a second mom to me. She didn't have kids.
So you've known her your whole life? Yeah. And that's why you were helping her out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're power of attorney and everything.
She switched her medical like the last 6 months. My mom was in charge of everything. And she switched it because with her working and her hours, it was hard for her to get a hold of her. Mm-hmm. So my hours were different and I could help her. So she basically, I mean, towards the end, I was taking her to doctor appointments, picking up her prescriptions, doing everything. And she was supposed to get in-home health care from the hospital. That was the only way they were going to release her because they wanted her to go to inpatient. And she refused.
Okay. Was that coming then, home health care? Because the report says you were the caregiver.
Yeah. No, home health care, they called. They were supposed to come that Tuesday or Monday. And I remember if it was Tuesday or Monday. But they were supposed to come. She pushed them back to Friday. And they actually called because they kept calling. And I finally answered the phone and said she's no longer because they were trying to come out. That was her condition upon her release. Was they wanted to make sure somebody was there with her. I was there with her. But she had to have in-home health care.
When you say you were given care and there's different levels of care.
I wasn't an RN by any.
That's what I was going to ask you about the training.
She used to be.
You weren't given injections?
No. I basically would help her to the bathroom, do any errands she needed, make any if she needed. I mean, she never
clean her up when she needed to be cleaned up.
She right before the hospital, she had a few accidents, on the way to the bathroom, stuff like that. So I helped her around the house, but I didn't. She used to be an RN, and she was to the point where, because she knew Lynn did not want to go, she was debating and quitting her job to actually physically take care of her.
How long were you taking care of her?
It was just shortly, I would say. A little bit before she went into the hospital. I mean, I was out there pretty much every other day, but I wasn't staying.
That was doing her shopping.
Yeah, I would say a few months, but then towards the end, I was back and forth twice a day.
Okay, so for the last,
I'd say 6 months.
Last 6 months.
Yeah,
you're out there every couple of days.
Yeah.
Then the last few weeks, you're out there
pretty much
often,
daily. Yeah. Once, twice a day.
And you're helping her. Are you administering the medication at all?
No.
She's taking care of her own pills. Yeah. But you're picking them up from the pharmacy. Which pharmacy are you going to?
Walgreens. It's right off of her main road. I'm not a Waukesha person, but it's the closest Walgreens to her.
In Pewaukee?
Yeah, they knew me very well. They knew her very well as well, but.
And what, did she have express pay set up, or did you pay cash?
No, we used her card.
Used her card?
Yeah.
Was she paying you to do this, or just friend?
Yeah. No, well, I mean.
I have friend and friend. Again, my father got real sick last year and passed away. And so I know how this stuff goes, and I was going there all the time. He knows, and it's real hard. And one of my coworkers said, well, you should be paying yourself to take care of your parents. I'm like, well, I can't take
no,
money.
She always, would offer here and there, and but it's hard too because when somebody she had no family, she had nobody.
No, I get you.
It was us, so it's just it's hard.
So when you bought groceries and stuff, you were just using her credit card?
I mean, sometimes, obviously, that was coming from my house.
Where was she have disability then? Or
she was on Social Security or just one of them. Medicare. What I got the form at the end of the year, but I don't know if it was Social Security or disability. It was one of them.
Okay.
I think it might have just been Social Security.
Okay.
But she's been on that for...
Based on what I read in our files, then our contacts with her over the years, she was like a hairdresser on the salon or something.
Yep.
She made a lot of money doing that, or? She didn't really have any family.
No.
Based on what I can tell.
She has one distant cousin.
She had, her parents passed away about...
Dad passed away a couple of
5 years
and then
ago.
her mom passed away, and she passed away, I think it was like a year, 2 years late. Was it 2? I don't know.
I think about 2 years later.
Because I helped her move her mom's house. And
Yeah, well, she doesn't have any family.
so,
I mean, well, she did, her aunt, but she passed away too a year ago. They were all from Madison. That's where she was originally from, so.
Yeah, because we couldn't really find anyone local.
I guess the medical examiner said there was a cousin or somebody
As I said,
called.
it's
But-
great aunts, so it's
Okay.
a distant second
I-
cousin. So.
I didn't know of them, so.
Okay. And you had power of attorney medically?
Yeah.
Did you have financial power of attorney?
No.
No.
No, yes, if need be, I think so. Or you did. I don't remember. I know I still have all the forms at home, so.
Okay. And what happened to her apartment and stuff?
We did an estate sale. Me and Anthony, the other family friend, just like us. His mom
Condos
was her
left
best
to
friend.
these two,
The
the two younger ones.
But we emptied out.
Was Anthony your brother or cousin? Or?
No,
Another
it's
family friend.
just like her. It was somebody she went to hair school with.
Another
friend.
friend, Green, who I
And
know,
their son.
and it's their son.
Yeah.
So these two are
So we
she's got the house up
Yeah.
here and it's sold. So now
Do you know
there's-
Kareen's last name?
um
Do you have a number for her?
I can't think of her last name offhand.
While you're looking for it, we just get some basic information because we kind of jumped the gun here.
Yeah.
It's Jessy,
Correct.
middle initial,
R
and your last name.
KURCZEWSKI.
Thank you for spelling it for me without me asking.
No problem.
Your date of birth. Address.
10562 West Cortez Circle, apartment 26, Franklin, Wisconsin 53132.
Hold on.
sorry.
I'm great dogs. What's the zip?
53132.
53132.
Correct.
And your phone. And you work somewhere?
Yes. Well, actually, no. Sorry, I'm not there anymore. Smiles for Miles is my last position.
But you're unemployed now.
Yes.
Okay. And Kareen?
I can't think of her last name offhand. Oops, I'm calling her. I can't think of her last name.
No, I can't.
But she did friends like you a long time. Did you meet any
Yes.
apartments or
No.
No, she went
just
to.
knows her.
just knows her?
She went. No, stop. She went to beauty school with her,
Okay.
and then her son is Anthony.
And why would she give the stuff to Anthony? Just because she needed somewhere to put her stuff, or?
She was going to leave everything to me, but she figured, okay, if I died first, then who's going to get it? So she left it to the two younger ones that she knows.
Okay. Do you know him at all or no?
We know each other, but not well.
His name was Anthony. You said?
Yes.
Do you have a number for him?
We know each other more so
I know Kareem and I know
From-
Anthony too.
Okay.
from all this. I mean, we've all kind of intertwined. Yes, there it was.
Let me ask you this: when we were looking again, how are you doing? Because you seemed all upset on the phone.
It's just frustrating the not knowing. That's what bothers me the most. Because I feel like, had I have been there, could I have done something? That's what I really, and it's just, Green calls me every week or so checking in. I spent 3-4 months cleaning up her condo, getting rid of things, and that was hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating because I feel like she was so close to us, and I feel like, if she would have just reached out maybe a little bit more, or
She did. You just didn't know what was wrong with her.
I mean,
Like I said, I didn't know if it's in her
feel free to
head.
chime in there, but you're taking her to the doctor. She was in the hospital 2 weeks prior to her passing. I mean, it's not like
You're talking, this is calls like throughout the night. During the day, it's all the time.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for
before the
Probably a
hospital,
good
she
5 years.
fell 3 times, and me and her neighbor tried to pick her up, which she was very heavy.
She's very tall.
She gained a lot of weight with her stomach issues, and I mean, we literally were fighting with her on the floor trying to get her up.
Yeah, she's very
And her neighbor's probably 10 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, her neighbor was just shocked because she was so sick, and she sat there for probably 2-3 weeks before we got her to go into the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just frustrating because it's like, you need help. And she was frustrated because she kept going in. I mean, ambulance.
She'd go in, but then she'd turn around and leave.
Well, that's.
Does she have some psychological things going on?
Yeah.
I've never met her. So I don't know.
Looked into her records, which I don't know if you have access to, but
The hospital has a lot of notes on her. She would go in and they would release her right away.
I don't think they know what to do.
I don't know exactly what they would say, and half of what she said you couldn't believe, because she told the doctor, "I'm fine, I'm eating," and I come outside and say, "No, she's not." Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, so it's hard. But she said that they all thought she was psychotic, and all these things listed on her medical records. You know, that she saw a psychiatrist, she didn't. You know, so I don't know if it was what she was saying or what they really thought. I don't know. You know, that's what was frustrating, is because she would tell you one thing, but it'd be different. So,
It'd be different when you talk to the doctors.
Anthony's is.
And you know his last name either.
I do know both of them. They're the same. You know what? I can find out what.
Why are you looking? Why you said stomach issues?
Both. But she saw a, what is the stomach doctor?
She said gastrointestinal.
She saw somebody probably 3-4 years back, and ever since then, they prescribed a ton of medications, changed her diet, and she never was the same after that.
Based on your observations, was she taking her medication properly? Because, I mean, they find her.
Yeah.
Obviously, you found her. Yeah. There's fucking everywhere.
Pills everywhere.
No, the hospital, when she was there and they noticed, they put an actual camera in her room. She had me go to Walgreens and get her prescriptions because they weren't giving her regular meds. She pulled off all her, stuff. I went in one day and I'm like, why is there a camera in here? And they said, well, we're having some problems. Mm-hmm. She was never good with her medication. She was really big on her Xanax, was her big one. She never took it. She always was taking more of it than what she needed.
The doctors wanted to cancel her on.
Yeah, when she was in, they took her off of it.
These items she would have already purchased when the doctor was giving them to her, so she'd stockpile on stuff.
Did she have doctor shop? They call doctor shop, and we have multiple doctors prescribing the same stuff.
I don't know.
No, she didn't.
She should do that.
Because, as a matter of fact, the doctor she had
took her
off stuff and then said, I want you to see another doctor because I cannot prescribe these things for you anymore. So,
because people have used Xanax.
Poza. O-Z-Z-A.
That's mom and son?
They're both the same.
Are they local? I assume they're local for
they live in Big Bend, I think.
Okay. So they're in the metro area?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she ever, I know she had a drunk driving a few years back. She used alcohol?
She was a drinker.
Till the end here when she was real sick?
Towards the end, she really wasn't. I would say probably the last 2 weeks. Not that I know of, was she? Prior to that, yeah.
You're there twice a day and someone's hitting it, you know it. Yeah. You're taking the trash out.
No, she had 3 bottles when she passed away still. So, as far as I know, no. Okay. Before that.
Because she was hospitalized for like 2 weeks and then she's out for like 4 days. Yeah. And then she passes.
Yeah.
So,
as far as I know, she was just drinking.
Historically, based on my hospital experiences, they don't let you drink.
No, but she drank in the morning too. She drank whenever. I mean, prior to her being sick the last couple of weeks, where she wasn't drinking anything because she couldn't eat. She couldn't get anything down.
Do you know why she's gaining weight if she's not eating?
Exactly.
We couldn't figure it out.
Is it water weight or
She
something?
was. I know when she first went in, she was very bloated.
Because I can tell you why I got it.
Well, she's a good eater.
She was
she loved to
very-
cook, but she was not eating.
Sure.
But when
She
she
hasn't done it for years.
when she went in the last time, though, they kept feeling her stomach because they said the same thing. And they took X-rays and they just said she was extremely bloated, but they don't know from what.
Okay.
Because they would actually push on and she was in excruciating pain.
The medical examiner gets access to all the medical records by statute. So, I mean, and again, I don't tell them, doctors.
Yeah.
They tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Were you going there to see her at all or not?
No, I hadn't been out there in a while this year.
When was the last time you saw her, do you think?
I don't know.
I'd say maybe 2 months before.
2 months prior to her death?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
At least prior to her hospital stay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only people that she really saw in the last month was me and the neighbor. The neighbor went to the hospital.
She didn't want nobody. She never wanted anybody out. If somebody said they were coming out, other than her or I, she would tell.
Don't come?
No.
Is it June or Judy?
Next door.
Yeah. Jean. Sorry, I'm wrong. I don't know her last name, but I do.
I think it's in the report.
Yeah.
Because she was there. They talked to her that day. Jean Tennell?
Yeah.
And she was right next door?
Yeah, she lives right next door. Yeah, because she helped me and pick her up in 2 days.
Do you have a number for Jean?
Yeah.
We have one, but I want to make sure sometimes.
No, that's fine.
There's nothing more frustrating. Our deputies sometimes get a little lazy when it gets to phone numbers. Was she helping her out too besides you, or mostly just you?
She would help a little if I wasn't there. Lynn would call her, like, she called quite a few times if she needed something or she fell, and if I couldn't get there quick enough, she would try calling her.
Mm-hmm.
So she would help, or if I knew I was going to be gone, and I knew she was having a bad day, I'd say, can you check in on her or stuff like that. So, and I know she came and visited her once or twice in the hospital, too.
Okay. Any other neighbors that she... No.
I mean, they all knew her, but she wasn't really close with a lot. She did have one guy friend that lived further over that would stop every so often, but he didn't even... She pretty much blew everybody off possible at the end. A lot of people were upset because they'd call and they'd say, I'm stopping over. And she'd say, no, I don't want to see anybody. Or when she was in the hospital, I said, do you want me to call anybody? No, I don't want to. She just
Sometimes you don't feel well, you don't want to see no one.
She had a paranoia. She'd never leave her house. That's why she'd do her shopping. Even if she could shop, she wouldn't.
She just
She got
wasn't.
her certain times.
She was a very, 5 years before this, from when I was little to 5 years ago, she was a completely different person. Fun of the party, knew everybody, would bring hors d'oeuvres to the pool for everybody. I mean, she was just a completely different person. And after her parents died and she got sick, she kind of just withdrew from everybody and everything. She didn't want...
She abused narcotics?
Yeah. She abused everything. I mean, within reason. I mean,
The last
she was
6 months?
She was a drinker.
The last 5, 6, 7
She liked her
years.
pills. She liked to smoke weed. I mean,
She was
She's smoking weed the last few months?
not that I know.
Because a lot of times,
No.
we're not allowed to. A lot of times you hear people smoking weed when they don't feel well to help them eat.
Yeah.
Whatever she's gonna do, she's gonna do it
I
behind
mean,
closed
we
doors,
found-
behind your back.
She's not real.
She's not gonna tell you what she's
No.
doing. But
I know, but if you're there taking care of her, you see what's going on.
You do and don't. I mean, she, even with her pills, every day, because she had so many at the end when she got to the hospital, I'd say, okay, Lynn, remember, you gotta take this one, you gotta take this one. And then I'd pull some out for her to take, and she, I already took it. And then I'm looking at it, I go, okay, this isn't even the right amount in here.
Mm-hmm.
Or you didn't take it. Some of them she didn't want to, some of them she took too many. I mean, I couldn't keep up with her. I mean, she was one.
We can't tell someone what to do. I mean, if that was my dad, I couldn't
And
tell him what
that's-
to do
yeah.
either.
I do know, obviously, she had, like, when she passed, we found a whole drawer of paraphernalia. I don't know if she was using it or not, or if it was old. I know one thing was really old. She had a note, like, her mom found when she was a kid, and she saved it.
Yeah.
And it just said, Lynn's naughty bag, or whatever. That was, like, something I think just to save, but she did have her pipe, and, I don't know that she was really doing it anymore. but
Besides weed, cocaine.
I know she used to. I don't know.
she did.
A couple of years, I don't know.
Okay.
She used to. I know she used to do.
She did everything.
She used to be a big.
I'm talking more in the last kind of.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
That I
she really
know.
didn't have anybody over. So
Yeah, that's what
And I don't know where she would have got it from. So.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
ask you,
No.
kind of basic battery questions. Before I forget to, can I get your name? Is it Jenny or Jennifer?
Jennifer.
And initial?
M.
And last name?
Flower.
Date of birth? Address?
Same as
Cortez?
Yep.
You have a cell phone?
414-460-5792.
Anything else you want to tell me that you think's important? Even a small detail.
No, there's not that.
I mean, the crime scene pictures, I reviewed them before you came here. Obviously, it looks like she was trying to force down medication. The doctor will tell me if that's true or not.
Do I think it's suicide? Yeah. I think she...
Because of her psychological issues?
Yeah. And I think when she went in the hospital, that was it for her. That was the last straw. If they couldn't find them, she was going to tell them whatever she wanted to get out of there. And I told her that. I said, she just wants to come home because she's going to do herself in.
She was just very... She was just tired of being sick. Mm-hmm. And she was frustrated because she wasn't getting the answers. I do know when she first went in, they said she had liver, kidney. She thought she was going to have to go on dialysis. Within a day that improved, they said no. Then after her being there 5 days, they said she has C. diff. She was so excited thinking that was like all her problems.
Well,
and then she realized that wasn't, they made her, I think, with what they told her and what she believed, she got excited thinking they finally figured out what's wrong.
She actually thought, she even had her water checked in her house when she bought the condo, the upstairs.
She had them checked for mold. She had a lot.
Yeah,
of
I mean,
stuff.
she
thought the apartment herself was making her sick, or the condo.
How long did she live there?
I think it was 4 years since her parents.
4 years.
I thought it was like 3, but
well, it's either 3 or 4.
How about 3 to 4? There we go.
I know I got the paperwork.
Is there an attorney that's handling the estate?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Lisa Martinson.
You want to ask for next?
No.
Is she local?
No, she's not. She's Madison.
Madison.
(608) 222 2505.
How'd the estate sale go? I'm asking this for a personal reason because I have a 1,700 square foot house from my parents that's filled with 53 years of memories of stuff.
Well, her mom and dad were collectors, so when we had to get out of there.
I look at this thing and it's making my head spin. He's been there. I mean, real
when her mom died, okay, they had died before, so we had to sell the house. We had a estate sale in Home 9 Yards. This is another, for instance, with her. I woke up in the middle of the night. She was down in the basement smashing everything. I mean, and it was to the point where if I would have had my car there, I would have left because I had never seen her that. I mean, I've seen her pretty pissed off, but she's adopted, okay, and she's the only child, and she just, I'm like, well, why are you all upset? Well, they left me, and this is just a big pain in the ass for me because she'd have to keep going out to Madison. Plus, she took care of her mom when she was sick before she died, so she was constantly going out there. So,
is the estate sale worth it financially with all the work? Because I see all this stuff, I just want to throw it away.
We contacted 2 companies, and we decided, Anthony, Kareem, and I decided we're going to just do it ourselves. I ended up doing majority. It was a complete nightmare. It took 3 months at least to get the place cleaned out. And when I'm saying she had a 1-bedroom condo, her neighbors would literally, they go, where is this stuff coming from? I filled up her driveway probably 6 times, halfway full of stuff, just to get rid of for the garbage. And her neighbors are like, where are you pulling this out of? Where is it coming? I said, you would not believe. She had 2 walk-in closets, but you would not believe. I mean, you couldn't even get in them. And I was just, I was so overwhelmed that I would go out there and I don't even know where to start.
My brother my brother, he wants to have an estate and do a thing this summer. And he's like, there's thousands of dollars there. And I'm like, not.
Nobody wants it. That's the problem. You have to find the people who want the stuff. I finally had a guy come. I was posting stuff and posting because we just did an open estate and you can't put signs anywhere. The condo just doesn't let you do anything. So I started posting bigger items, to get people in, and I'd have so many people come in a day, and then I'd open it up. And towards the end, I had one person come out of state. He had like a truck trailer. He came for like an antique hutch, and he looked, and there was like 7 items left. And he said, "I'll take them all for a flat." I said, "Do it." I said, I don't want to.
How much you get for an antique hutch? Because I got some of those things.
Like $100.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, it's hard. The furniture, it just isn't. It was insane. I mean, I literally couldn't look at this stuff anymore.
How about this for me? On his deathbed, my father says to me, "Christopher, don't throw nothing out in the basement. There's thousands of dollars down there." And there's so much stuff. He's a tool guy, jars and jars of nails.
Well, and her mom too is, like I said, she was a collector, so she had stuff from her when she was a little kid. I mean, in perfect condition. So.
Well, one thing I can honestly say, the sickest part in all this is when she passed, she had 2 friends, and they had set things they wanted, and those were the 2 people she said, "I do not want in my house" when she passed.
Who's that?
What's Raine's daughter's name?
Let me think about later. Call me.
It's Kareen's brother, and then Jim, her ex-boyfriend. And they both wanted the same things, and they were the things worth of some value.
What did they want?
She had a very expensive bracelet that she bought about a year before she died. It was a men's Merner link bracelet, and that was the first thing they both asked for. It was I've never seen people so sick over. I mean, I was like disgusted over what they didn't say how did she die, how when's the funeral, they didn't ask any of that. They asked when can I come to her house, or who's getting the bracelet. I want the bracelet. I mean, actually, Jim set his mom up to ask for the bracelet too, so that was 3 people, and she would never. I mean, it was sick.
How long was Jim the ex-boyfriend?
Over 30 years.
They were dated 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Not that long ago, but
yeah, it was.
I don't think it was quite. No,
they lived at the apartments. That's when I met her. And they
like maybe 20 years ago. She did a lot for him. A lot.
And that's hanging on 20 years ago.
Well, he's got a girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay because he broke up 20 years ago. Right?
It's a weird.
Well,
I'm in cahoots with that guy right now. I've had some conversations with him.
Yeah.
I'm also aware of the fact that she has given him money for a down payment on his house and only paid him back like $300.
How much did she give him?
A lot.
When you say a lot, you have documents?
Yeah.
And he knows we know. Because those are my exact words to him.
He actually also has very good friends who work for this office.
Was it?
Yeah. His wife's a court reporter for Waukesha too, girlfriend.
Sure.
He's created a lot of problems with all of this.
Like what?
He contacted my probation officer and said that I should not be her beneficiary. I didn't even know I was. It was my mom up until a year ago. She changed it. I didn't even know. My probation officer questioned me about it. She knew everything. But she said, I don't know why you're calling me. You're contacting the wrong person.
Well,
he created a lot of
too is really not his.
He created a lot of problems.
His name is not anything, so why should he? It's not his business.
He was very determined to be in her house and get certain things. She had strict who gets what. We abided by it. But he.
Did he get anything?
Yeah, he did. He got way more than what, because I didn't have a problem with giving away her things.
Do you have an itemized list what you gave?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll give you a card as my email on it. You want to email me?
Yeah. I also have her itemized list too.
You want to email me that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been an issue. We don't have any conversations with him anymore, but at the beginning he was a problem.
Did he have contact with her toward the end?
No.
No.
But he
tried. When she was in the hospital, he tried.
He called when she was in the hospital.
Yeah, he called.
And he was mad that he wasn't informed.
We had a
and I
birthday
said,
gift to drop off for her, and I said, well, she's in the hospital right now, and her birthday was in June, so why are you calling now?
Yeah.
And she said, do not tell him I don't want him here. I don't want to see him.
She didn't like the way she looked, so she didn't want people around. Because she always was done up.
Oh, so good, and she's...
Yeah.
She didn't look so hot at the end, based on... You never look so good when you're dead.
No, and the brother is Creighton's brother. I can't think of his name offhand.
When you think of it, send me an email.
Yeah. But the two of them, we had a dinner.
But you're pretty sure Jim's not around just at the end?
No.
Do you have a phone number for him?
He has.
Or do you know his last
I
name?
threw it out. I don't want to have any more contact.
Keller?
Yeah.
I do have his number.
Keheller.
Keheller.
Because after she passed, he contacted me and said, well, I'm contacting the sheriffs. And I want to know when she was in the hospital and how long. And
He wanted dates and stuff, and it was like, okay, whatever.
I guess I don't have it in here. I thought I did.
If you find it, send it.
I know I have it. I thought I had it in my phone. But him and we had a dinner afterward, because she didn't want a funeral. She had strict instructions. So we had a dinner, and all of us know each other, but haven't really seen or talked to each other in years since she used to live on the lake. And, none of us are really close because we didn't really hang out together.
Those people.
But they were all at the
She's
dinner.
kind of the hub and you're all spokes of it.
Yeah. None of us really knew each other together,
So did Jim go to the dinner?
He did. Him and his girlfriend went, and
Corrine and her husband and Corine's brother, Anthony, came. She was pretty close with Corine's brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he there at all?
Yeah, he wasn't going to come.
No.
At the end.
He saw her maybe a month before.
So basically, it's just you there. The only person she's seen is you.
Yeah. Me and the neighbor.
And the neighbor once in a while, but mostly it's just you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me grab your card. Do you have any questions? I mean,
no.
Once we hear from the ME, I'll let you know what's going on. But
do you know, out of
they
curiosity?
have up to a year. And they almost...
I mean, it's not like, it doesn't do anything. It's more so, I just wish I knew. It's more so to know if I could have done something had I. That's the hardest part.
I'd like to know if it was a suicide, but I'd still like to know what led up to her being sick for the last 5 years of her life. Why?
Medical problems.
If it was in her head.
I'll ask the doc when it comes time.
Yeah.
But again, our medical exam, she may take up to a year on something. She does it quite a bit.
Yeah.
They're very thorough.
Well, and I'd rather at least, I was excited when they said, I'm not excited, but when they said, that they found something with their heart. They found 5 different things. And that at least was encouraging because I went.
A lot of times there's a lot of contributing factors.
Yeah.
And it's a combination of these things.
And that's what.
The body starts to shut down. So, we'll go grab you a card. Sure.
Okay. And then, email is on here.
Okay.
All right, I will,
If you have any other problems with anyone, give me a call.
Basically, the attorney said she helped a lot. And she just said, you know what? Even though Lynn has a list, you don't have to abide by that. This is her will. And I said, no, I have no problem. She was very thorough in her last year. She was one of those people with the weird sifting thing about it.
She would rewrite things and rewrite things, and she forget.
She would literally talk to you every day. Now you know where this is. You know where this is. You know what to do with this. You know Jim gets this. So I mean that's.
My important papers are.
And you're like
purse on the door. Get that all out of here.
You don't have to tell me this. I mean we knew all that, but it's like she was one of those.
Because when you're sick, you kind of and you're sick, you just kind of think, I want to stop taking care of. And if she was one of those detail-oriented people, my father was the same way. As he's dying, he's going to make sure.
I think what did it is when her mom died. She made sure she had everything. She went through a lot with her mom, so I wasn't around for that part. She was,
Yeah, when her mom died, that was like, I'd say by the time she was done with the house, she had me go into the bank with her and sign over to lock by all the, access to the bank accounts, everything like that. So and I would assume because of what she went through with her parents and there not being anybody, whatever money she had, she didn't want anybody getting.
Sure.
So.
Follow the advice of the attorney and follow your heart. That's like the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Boy, well, walk you guys on. Wow, it's meant for 3, not 4. There we go, good. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Is this guy I just brought in?
You got an issue with your probation agent. That's what you're here for.
Is it because I didn't tell her that we had talked last week or didn't talk?
I don't know.
I've never had a violation.
I don't know. You'll have to deal with that with her.
All of a sudden it dawned on me when I saw you guys, I go, is this why? Because I didn't come in with you? And I'm like, I didn't have a problem coming in to see you. I started a new job and I'm going to probably lose it after today.
I don't know what her issue is.
I can't believe this. I've never had a problem with her and she's never done this to me. Never. So this is the only thing I can come up with and I'm at Waukesha.
Yeah, I don't know. However, you are here.
Yes.
To talk about Lynn.
Yes, please.
A little bit. The problem is you're in custody, so I need to read you your rights.
Okay.
So, you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I understand.
You know the room's being recorded.
Yes.
Okay, just so we're all clear. No
Yeah.
secrets here.
No secrets.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to a lawyer before questioning and have him or her present during questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
You can afford a lawyer. One will be appointed for you before questioning if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
You decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand each of these rights that I've read to you?
Yes.
Fully understand the above stated rights and won't answer questions at this time without the presence of an attorney.
Correct. Yes.
There.
It's happened, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Today's the 9th. You know how I know? It's my wife's birthday.
Sure.
And dates are important.
I know I was supposed to be going out of town in 2 days, and I just would like to know why I have a probation on.
Where are you going?
I was supposed to go to Kimberly for a softball tournament. And I just started a new job that this is not going to be good messing right now. I'm so worried. But I hope you have some good news or something to tell me worthwhile.
Well, I have, medical examiner has not made a ruling yet. They have a year to do so. And it's not atypical for our medical examiner's office to take the entire year.
Yeah.
It's just what they do. Our Dr. Linda is very thorough and methodical. Her counterpart in Milwaukee zips stuff off real fast. She takes her time. We have some questions about Lynn's daily operations. Because you were the one taking care of her, right?
For the most part, yeah. I was the only one around, really.
Right, because she doesn't really have anyone.
6 months. No.
What would her day look like?
She didn't sleep normal, so I couldn't say she got up because...
Did she sleep in a bed, or did she always stay in that... Okay.
She hasn't probably been in her bed for a couple weeks because when she came home from the hospital, she couldn't handle the height. She couldn't get up that high. So I would say usually before that, she'd wake up 3, 4 in the morning. She didn't sleep good, so she'd be napping throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
And she didn't watch TV all day.
Did she walk okay?
Sometimes yes and sometimes no. Till right before the hospital, she could.
Okay.
During, on the way, we didn't ambulance. She literally got out of the car at the hospital and they said, how are you doing this?
Uh-huh.
So, they saw it. Her last 3 days at the house, she was falling. She would get up, but she'd fall. That's why I had the bathroom thing right by her.
Uh-huh.
Because she could do some, she couldn't do some. Sometimes she'd get up and get water. She'd make herself try, I would say once or twice to get up, but it didn't always work.
What? Do you know why she went to the hospital the last day before her death?
She didn't go the last day before her death.
No, her last stay.
Her last stay? physically, her body was shutting down.
She was weak.
She wasn't eating. She probably didn't eat in 2 weeks before. She was so dehydrated. And she knew she had to go. Me and our neighbor both said, you have to go and do something because your body is shutting down.
And what's the name of the neighbor?
June or Judy?
Okay.
No. I don't have my phone with me. You guys know it.
Did we talk to her that day?
You talked to her that day. She was
Okay.
the only one who helped me pick her up when she fell off the ground.
Okay.
But I can't. It's not Judy. Judy's the other one. But it's in my phone.
Okay.
I know.
And we talked to her that day.
Yep.
Yeah,
she's all over. I gave you her information too.
And was she taking her own medicine?
She was taking her own medicine.
But she didn't drive or nothing.
No.
So you would go get the prescriptions.
Yes. Walgreens knows me. They got to know me very well. Even when she was in the hospital, she wanted a prescription because the hospital wasn't giving her own prescription. And I brought it in and I let the nurses know that I went and got it for her.
Okay.
And they took it from her. Okay. I said, I'm just doing what she told me to do, but I want you guys to be aware, so,
And were you paying for them or was she paying you back? Or credit card on file or?
No. Sometimes I paid for him, sometimes she paid for him. I went both ways.
And Lynn was taking
I don't even remember offhand, to be honest.
Because usually the pharmacists are paying that. They were fine with you because you were the person?
Well, they knew Lynn very well at her Walgreens. And they also know me, and I was on file as who I was, but I don't know if she was taking, her main one was, I don't know most of them by heart except for she was, and then she had like a blood pressure, and I don't know the rest.
She's taking quite a bit of meds.
Yeah.
Like 20 of them, it looked like.
Those weren't all her prescriptions, though. I shouldn't say that. They weren't for the time. She'd have meds, and then the doctors would take her off. They'd put her on, take her off. So, she had meds all over her house. That was just the normal for her.
That was just the normal.
Yeah.
And was she taking stuff as far as prescribed, or was she kind of self-medicating herself?
Everything, for the most part, was prescribed. I know.
When I say as prescribed, as the doctor wants her to take it.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Because my mom's an assistant.
Yeah.
So I take care of the meds, and if something's not right,
I used to tell her all the time.
The pharmacy doesn't give me, you know what I mean? Like if we run out of and they're like, no, you can't get it for another 10 days. Then I start to worry what happened.
I used to tell her all the time. I would be gone. Well, I would do. Sometimes I'd get her stuff ready, and sometimes she would, because I wasn't there all the time.
Okay.
So I'd be getting stuff ready, and then she'd be getting stuff ready, and I'd come back, and I'd be like, okay, I left, and you had this many pills of this, or this of this. Especially the new ones, I knew because she just got them filled. None of it made any sense, and I used to tell her, I was like, oh, no, I'm fine. I said, what are you doing? That's not, you're supposed to, her set ones, and I don't know all of them, she'd take what she wanted. She took Xanax just because it calmed her down, or so she thought, and she felt good. I don't know, because I'm not a pill person, I've never been.
Yeah.
I take ibuprofen. That's all
I get you. We have a pill organizer. Did she use one of those?
No.
Because you only like that.
No.
Monday, Tuesday, Monday evening.
I've tried. Her pills wouldn't have even fit those.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So when you said sometimes you set the pills up, like each day in the morning you come there. Typically would you go there in the morning or the night or?
I didn't have a set. It just depended how she was doing the day before and what she wanted or what I had planned. There wasn't.
Did she call you and say I need you, or?
She would either call or I'd call her to check on her and say how's it going. I don't know how many times she called me because she fell or she needed water or I always stocked her up on stuff, but it was sometimes I could be out there a lot and sometimes I couldn't. So it just depended what was going on.
Would you say you're out there almost every day then?
Yeah.
Especially
towards the end. The last 2 months.
The day of her death. Do you remember when you were out there?
I gave my state. Honestly, I don't at this time. It was in the morning.
Okay.
But I don't know exact time frame.
You were there in the morning for a little while?
Yeah.
Most of the morning?
Yeah.
Did you remember if you gave her pills that day?
No.
You set them up?
No. When I got there, she was sleeping. I woke her up, we talked for a little bit, and I had to go to the gas station, or not the gas station, Pick and Save. I had a bunch of errands that I was putting off for days because I just didn't have time. I was tired.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, no, just go do what you gotta do, blah, 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 I'll see you later. And I remember before I left, I asked her, like, are your pills taken for the day? Do you need water? Like, we had a system, you know, do you need this? Do you need that? Do you want something to eat? And no, she said she was fine. I said, oh, I'll be back in a couple hours. I just want to get the stuff done. And she was, like, pushing me to go.
So you got there in the morning.
It was sometime in the morning. I was roughly there maybe an hour, maybe 2 at the most. I don't know for sure.
But you don't.
I mean, I handwrote her statement the day I left there.
No, I got you. And you probably didn't give her pills that day.
I don't think so. I'm almost positive I didn't because the last couple of days I really wasn't. She'd ask for water, or sometimes she would put her pills in. She had a certain, like, in it, something bigger that tasted really bad. So she would always put that in her yogurt, or not yogurt, pudding.
Pudding?
So she would ask for, like, water or pudding or something for me to bring by her, or certain pills, the bigger ones, she would, like, crush those up or whatever. So she'd be like, oh, can I get this or can I get that? But I don't remember, because normally if I was there earlier, I would give her pills, or I'd check, like, the day, or, but.
You would think in 2019 they can make medicine taste better.
Well, you would think they just would have a better system so people don't have access to that kind of medication.
I had this billion take my daughter her tonsils out, and I'm wondering because she doesn't want to swallow the pills because of throat hurts, right? I don't have a little pain patch for kids. Yeah. That's a good idea. You say you run errands that day, so you're there for an hour or two, and then do you stay? Do you run errands for her then, like Pick and Save and Target? Or
no, I mean, maybe a few things, like maybe I got water or something. I don't know offhand. Majority was for me, but I might have gotten her stuff too. I don't know. You know.
So you went back home then? Because at the time you were living in Franklin, right?
I was living in Franklin. Well, yeah. No. I'm sorry, this is you're making me rewind here almost a year. I mean, I did write a statement that day. It has everything that I did and times. And
no, I got you.
I just trying to remember. It's frustrating because I just don't understand why we don't have answers. I just don't get it.
Well, because I didn't go to medical school.
No, I was excited thinking you had actually some news and.
Well, there's some inconsistencies, and we'll talk about those. But I'm trying to get an idea of how stuff works, because everyone's asking me how the pills were taken. Like some of them are crushed, you said.
Yep.
And
some were and some won't. I don't know to what extent.
But you weren't like to me involved with like we crush this one every day.
No.
Nope. Because she was kind of handling herself. Her brain was still pretty sharp that she knew.
She was doing her usual. I mean, she couldn't. Her biggest thing was mobility. That was probably the biggest issue, but she still got up to an extent. She didn't leave the house is what she didn't do. But I didn't go and buy her drugs. I only got the stuff that she was prescribed. She had friends who gave her a ton of things back in the day. Yeah. I don't know towards her death, but...
There's no illegal narcotics in her.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Did you see her use illegal drugs?
I have prior. I mean, that was what she was
towards the end or no?
I couldn't say towards the end. I would say maybe like 4 months prior to the hospital.
When you say illegal drug, I'm assuming a little bit of weed or something?
She smoked weed. She used cocaine once in a blue moon. And some kind of pills, and I don't know what. Because this wasn't my stuff, so.
I gotcha. So you saw her use cocaine? Did you say, you probably should be doing that with the pills?
I said that with everything. I mean, I yelled at her about her medicine all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's frustrating because she wouldn't listen and she didn't care and it made her feel good. I mean, she went to the ER twice because she took it all and ran out so that she was having like withdrawals or made herself withdrawals so she could go and get more.
Did you take her then?
Yeah.
And which hospital did you go to?
We guys went to the same hospital. It's the one just right down the road from here.
Waukesha Memorial?
I think.
Is it in Waukesha?
It's Aurora.
Aurora. Okay.
Always. She was admitted in there 4 times in the last 6 months of her life. At least. And once she was ambulanced, or maybe twice.
Sure. Is she taking care of her own bills at the time? Her brain's sharp enough that she's...
No, she did some things, but she'd tell me what to pay as well. She'd say, okay, this month I gotta pay this, this month I gotta pay this.
Like, did she have a car payment then, or?
No car payment. She just had credit cards, like crazy.
What she's using the credit cards for?
No idea. Anything she wanted.
She buy stuff up, but she didn't drive or leave the house.
Well, I mean, at that time, no, but she still had bills. Or, like, when I'd go to the store from her, she had, the grocery card. She would tell me all the time, oh, I haven't used it in 2 months. Go get groceries on this, or go get, but she never, I mean, her finances were never an issue for her. She did what she wanted. She, do this, do that, I need this, here's this for taking care of me. I mean, her finances were never, that wasn't her issue. That wasn't.
She was sharp though. I mean,
yeah.
she was doing.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she wasn't, she didn't lose her mind. I mean, she just.
Well, sometimes people, they don't feel good.
No.
Like, look, my dad died at the end there. He just didn't care anymore. He didn't feel good, and.
Well, I mean, she didn't care, but that wasn't about stuff like that. What she didn't care about was, okay, today instead of 4 pills, I'm going to take 10. Or, I mean, that was more. She wanted to.
I'm talking about the bills, though. Like, he didn't care at the end, the last couple months, because I was taking care of everything. Yeah. My dad was also meticulous. What he took care of everything. That's just the way he was.
Oh no,
but he was just sick.
Yeah.
So, but she was pretty good.
Yeah.
And you said she had a lot of credit cards?
Yeah. I just recently found out how bad things were.
And when you say a lot,
it's everything with the
4 or 5 credit cards?
No, she had about 30 credit cards. Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't have a big house, though, with lots of storage.
No.
You don't know what
but it was
buying.
packed. Her house was packed. Well, she bought jewelry, she bought her car, she paid for everything outright, or she put it on a card.
Okay.
So.
And her income was, she had Social Security, that's when the money was coming in.
Correct.
And she had some money when her mom died.
Yeah.
But no other sources of income that you know of.
No.
And you handled.
I mean, she cut hair on the side for a while, but I don't.
But not for the last year, right? I mean.
Yeah.
Because she was sick for.
I mean, for people she knew, but not me. I haven't heard of that in a while.
When did she stop, like functioning normally? Like when I say normally, she just got sick.
Well, she's been sick for years.
Okay, but.
So what do you mean, like?
Well, when did she stop cutting hair for her friends?
Oh, I don't know. That I can tell you.
Yeah, a year, 2 years, more than that?
Maybe a year. But that wasn't because she was sick. It was just because she didn't do it anymore.
She just didn't want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know her. I've never met her.
No,
all I see is pictures. So I'm trying to get an idea of how she functioned or who she was.
She functioned normally up until about the last 3-4 months. I mean, she would go to the pool. If you ask her people in her condo, they all know her because that's who she hung out with. She walked around, said hi to everyone. I mean, that was her life.
Prior to the last previous to the last 6 months, was she driving then still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you out there helping her then at that time a little bit, or mostly the last 6 months?
I was out there, but not like that. It wasn't helping her either. It was just out there.
Just out there?
Yeah, I mean, she's like family, you know.
Oh, I get it. For the last 6 months, you were kind of her caregiver. She was paying you.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to say 6 months. She functioned until the end. I mean, I helped her. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even, I don't want to say she didn't function. She would be like, hey, can you go get water today? I don't want to go to the store. I mean, the people at the store know her. Mm-hmm. You know, so they knew she was having a good day, a bad day. She was good friends with, like, 4 checkout people at Pick and Save. It was unreal.
She seemed like she had one of those personalities.
Yeah, she did. She talked to everybody. Yeah. She would talk to, like, just a stranger on the street. See her and she'd say, hi, how are you doing today? She's a great person. Great.
The last 6 months when she's not feeling well, are you out there every day, do you think, or almost every day?
Almost.
And is she paying you on a daily basis or by the week?
No.
Or she just?
I mean, it was all
different. Did you have an official arrangement that I make $20 an hour?
No, there was nothing. No, nothing like that.
So she would just.
However she wanted to. I mean, there was no, one day, oh, here's a check. One day, here's my card. Go get this. One day, I mean, it was no set.
No set amount?
No.
I'll pay you $100 a week, nothing like that.
I mean, she'd help out. She'd tell my mom, oh, this month I'm going to pay rent or I'm going to pay your car. I mean, she always was one of those people that helped everyone. There was no rhyme or reason for what she did, but I know years ago my mom helped her out DUIs and stuff in the past. She owed my mom a ton of money and filed for bankruptcy. So she's always came back on that, even though she wrote it off. She's always helped me and my mom our whole life. She's always helped us. You know, she paid my mom's rent probably 8 times in the last couple of years when I was in prison. I mean, she's just done a lot for us. It was never, and we've never taken advantage of that, if that's what you guys are thinking. I mean, she was, anybody who knows her, she gave everyone money. That Jim guy, she helped him with over $20,000 in legal bills, his house, his this. I mean, that's just how she was. It wasn't, you know, I mean, because I feel like now you're getting into finances, like you guys think something's up, but that's how Lynn was with her money. She did what she wanted, how she wanted. Mm-hmm. She had a $10,000 bracelet, a $12,000 necklace. Why? Because she wanted it. She bought that a year before she died, just for the fun of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, she didn't have a rhyme or reason on how she did things. She did what she wanted because she could, and she was always poor. When her parents died, she said, you know what, this is the first time I can do what I want, how I want. She bought the Jeep she wanted. She bought the condo. She hid the condo. She wanted to get out there. But she was one of those people that lived day by day. This is, today I want to go shopping, or today I want to buy a jewelry. She'd call me all the time, hey, you want to go on vacation today? Let's just book a trip and go. I'm like, Lynn, what are you talking? I can't just up and go. But that's the type of person she was. Or towards the end, she got mad because one of her credit cards got reduced. She was, I'm going to just go blow it all. And that's what she bought, the bracelet and whatever. And I'm like, what do you think? Like, her mind was just, she did what she wanted, how she wanted. I can't, you know, have any say or control because it's hers. It's her stuff. It's what she wants.
The last week or two, mm-hmm. she gets out of the hospital and then she dies like within the 2 weeks, right? Yeah. It seems like she's out of control then. And when I say that, but she doesn't care. She's taking pills.
To me, it seemed like she gave up before she went to the hospital. It seemed like the hospital was a last-ditch effort for everyone who loved her because we were all pushing her to go. Her neighbor, Judy, her ex-husband, my mom, me, she was just in bad shape, and we wanted her to get help.
Who's your ex-husband?
Or ex-boyfriend, sorry. Ex-boyfriend, not husband.
Okay, and that's that Jim dude, right? Mm-hmm. Because I never heard of an ex-husband.
No, it wasn't. It was ex-boyfriend. Okay. It just, we wanted her to get the help. We wanted her, and I think she went back and forth. She kind of wanted to feel better, and then she just was sick of being sick. She went both ways.
Did she struggle in the hospital?
Oh, a lot. A lot. They put a camera in after a couple days because they were having problems.
Because in the hospital, they make you follow the rules. Mm-hmm. As far as take this and this, you don't get to. Oh,
I mean, I'm sure medical examiners asked the hospital about her. You know, they've asked, and I'm sure they had some words. The nurses, the doctors, I mean, they all had things to tell me every time I came in. That she was a handful. Because she wanted to do it her way. Didn't care what they told her. And if they didn't get the pills she wanted, they were giving her something generic. That's when, well, I need you to go get my prescription. I said, Lynn, they're giving you what you need. I'll get it because you're telling me to and it's yours. It's rightfully yours. Mm-hmm. But that's why when I came back, I purposely told them. I said, I'm going to let you know right now. She has it. It's up to you guys what you want to do with it, but she wanted it. Mm-hmm. And that's when they took it from her.
Were you there when they took it from her?
No.
I think it was a pretty good fight.
Maybe. She got it back when she left.
Was she mad at you when she found out you told them? Because she probably figured out that you told them.
Well, no, I did tell her I was going to tell them. Because I said, I don't know what you're supposed to be doing or not doing. And, I feel like when you're in the hospital, they're going to give you what you need.
Yeah.
So, that's just my opinion.
They don't give you anything you're not supposed to. And then they don't even like you bringing stuff in like a cheeseburger or something, Yeah. They want you to know exactly what you got going in and out.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, yeah. But.
Did your mom help out with Lynn?
No.
No?
No. Oh. My mom didn't. She did, prior. My mom helped out when Lynn's parents died. She couldn't physically do it again. She watched Lynn have a nervous breakdown and come back from it, but it was like a 6-month nervous breakdown. And she trashed her parents' house. A lot happened when Lynn's mom died. And physically it wore on my mom, just seeing her like that, because she's never seen that side of her. It was a totally different person. So that's why Lynn purposely had everything in my mom's name, like to take care of everything if something happened, even medical when she was alive. And she switched it to me because she said, your mom, A, doesn't have the time for it. My mom with her job and stuff. And she said, B, because she was there prior, I don't want to make her do it again. So.
Okay. I was going to ask you why it got switched to you. Yeah. That explains it.
I didn't know if she switched everything. I only knew she switched some things. I had no clue at the end. I didn't know.
Were you authorized to use her on the credit card and stuff when she's telling you to do? But not on all of them, because you said
I don't know. I have no idea. That was her doing, so I don't know.
We said she had 30 credit cards.
She had a lot of credit. I don't know exact, but it was a lot.
But she wasn't giving you different cards every time. You were using.
Oh no, she gave different cards. She liked to use her different cards. She said it all the time. I got to use this one. I haven't used it. She had stickies with dates and last time she used them and everything. I swear to God, I've never seen anybody like that.
Why?
Because she liked to keep track of when she used it last and okay, I didn't use it this time. That was just what she did.
Just cause.
I have no idea.
What credit cards you got?
I have 4.
I mean, you got 2. Yeah, I think I got 2.
Well, not of all that I have, I don't use, so.
Well, you said Lauren is younger, but you kind of figure out that you don't need.
No.
You kind of pair it.
I mean, I was in shock. I was like, I have never seen this amount of stuff. Never. And her thing was, too, like the hospital. She kept saying, well, I'm just going to use everything because one day when I'm not here, I'm not paying any of it. That was her biggest thing. Pushing it. I'm just going to use it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to charge it all. And I'm like, what?
It's your money. I mean.
Well, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I guess.
You're going to get stuck paying it.
We have different. Everyone's life's a little different. Yeah. You know, I used to be a lot looser, and now I have children. So you know how that changes your whole concept.
I'm the same way. You got to be very careful with money.
You know, it's like I don't buy soda at a gas station because it's like, well, I got to put 2 kids through college, at least one.
Yeah.
You know. The last 2 weeks, did she fall since she got out of the hospital, the last hospital stay? Yeah. Did she fall at all?
Yeah. That's when her neighbor helped me.
Then Judy came and helped her, or whatever her name was, June, or.
I don't know why I can't think of her name right now, but I haven't talked to her in a while, so. Yeah, she helped me
Did Jim ever come over?
Oh, no.
Help?
No.
Well, when did she give Jim the money? Do you remember?
I want to say within the last year. And I think she might have given him money like 2-3 times, not just that. I want to say maybe like the last 3 years.
Do you know the last time Jim saw her? I thought at one time, and someone told me that like she didn't want to see Jim anymore. She told him not to come.
Her looks and stuff, yeah. I don't know, because he didn't come when I was around.
Okay.
His mom did. His mom was Judy. His mom did.
His mom's Judy?
Mm-hmm. That's Judy.
Okay.
Not the neighbor, but that's where they
got no.
Yeah. No, I can't think of the neighbor's name. It's driving me nuts right now. It's on my phone, but I can't think of the neighbor's name, but the neighbor would be probably the one who saw her just as, not as much as me, but I mean, more, and helped out. When she fell, I needed help.
Yeah, you can't get her
and then Judy was Jim's mom, and she would come every so often. She saw him more than Jim. I saw her towards the end more than Jim. So I don't know though than Jim. I couldn't tell you.
You don't know. There's another beneficiary in the will.
Anthony.
Who's that?
That is Kareen's son. Kareen is her best friend, just like my mom.
Does Kareen come over and help? Again, I don't know anyone. You don't say. I kind of ask you why is Kareen coming over? Because he's my best friend, right? Yeah. So if he's in the hospital, besides wiping his butt, which I would do, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Just say, come take care of your guy, you know?
A, half people didn't know she was in the hospital. B, she didn't want him to know, and she didn't want to see him.
So she's trying to push people away.
Yes. But that's how she was. If she didn't feel good, she didn't want you around. I mean, I wouldn't have been around when she didn't feel good.
Would she tell you don't come?
She'd have days that say, yeah, don't come. Don't this, don't that. I mean, she did what she wanted, how she wanted. Yeah. Some days she didn't feel good. I usually knew if she said don't come, most of it was because she didn't want me to make the trip out again or drive out again. But I usually went. I mean, I'm not saying I did every time, but I mean, she'd call me, I'd be out doing something. She'd call me and she'd fall. I'd have to leave and go, and I would. It wasn't a question of, oh, well, let's see, maybe I'll come. I mean, I just went. You have to.
This dude you're living with, I assume that's your boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Is it Scott or Craig? Or
Scott Craig.
Does he ever go see her?
No, he's never met her. She never wanted to meet him.
Just cause?
Because she was sick.
Interpret it clear in your mind, Jesse.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
He would have loved to meet her. But she just didn't want to do it. She only one time, she was willing to let him come to the house. Because she said, well, this isn't what I look like. I told you, she gained the weight and everything in the weight was 2-3 years. But her appearance changed. She always said, I don't want anybody to see me. And I'd be like, well, he's going to stop with me real quick. No, just can you drop him off at home? So.
Okay. Anyone else have contact with her besides you and the neighbor?
What do you mean contact?
Well, go see her.
Well, people talk to her.
I'm talking about go see her physically at the apartment or the condo. That's the neighbor.
No.
There's two Judys, right?
Yeah, her name isn't Judy. It's Jean.
Jean's the neighbor.
Yes.
Jean's the neighbor.
Yeah.
Judy is Jim's mom.
Yeah.
Do you know her? What's her last name? Do you know?
I gave you all this.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have it.
That's fine. I didn't plan on doing this today, to be honest with you. Okay.
Neither did I.
I just came back from vacation.
I mean, I really didn't plan on any of this. I mean, I wanted to get information, don't get me wrong, but not this way. Didn't plan on never getting arrested again. I'm supposed to be off paper at the end of the year. And
I gotcha. Did you ever use the credit cards for something you weren't supposed to?
Never.
Just everything on there is for...
Always permission. Always. I know better. I know better. There's a reason I don't want to be sitting in these. I know better, and I really...
And you know why I asked, right?
I feel like you're asking because of my history.
That's why.
I feel like I'm sitting in cuffs for a reason now. I'll be very honest with you guys. I feel like this is all mixed together.
You're in cuffs because it's policy.
No, but I mean, I feel like I was brought in because of this. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I saw you guys, and I'm wondering why I was going to Waukesha. Mm-hmm. Granted, I was half asleep when I left the house, but I'm really starting to think you guys think I did something or I did something wrong. And if you knew Lynn, you knew the way she was. I didn't do anything, and I'll tell you that honestly. I love her to death.
I don't know her. That's why I'm asking you a lot of questions because I don't know who she was.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the disadvantages of doing this job is you know her intimately.
Yeah, I know her very well.
And I'm investigating a death.
I get it.
And there's an anomaly in her toxicology. There's a drug in her system that's not supposed to be there.
And what would that be?
It's called tetrahydrazine.
What is that?
Commonly known as eye drops.
She uses eye drops all the time.
What does she use them for?
She used them for her eyes. But she went through them like crazy, which didn't make sense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, when you say a lot, how much was she using?
I probably brought her 4 bottles while she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
She put them in her eyes all the time. All the time. And I was like, I've never met somebody that goes through it. She's like, my eyes are always dry. Always.
What kind of eye drops were you buying her?
Whatever kind. She didn't care. She didn't have like a history.
I mean, I'm not an eye drop guy, but we also refer to it as Visine. Is that...
Well, no, there's different. She liked a different kind. I don't know without looking at it. I really don't.
Okay.
No.
The hospital didn't have concerns with it?
I have no idea. I mean, she had it sitting out on her thing.
The last couple weeks.
What would that do anyway? I don't get it.
Well, apparently, it's not good for you to use lots of eye drops. And that's what the medical examiner is concerned about.
Did they look in her house? Because she has boxes of them.
Does she?
Or had, yeah. Because she was well known for eye drops.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, what is that? Because that just sounds really weird to me when he said that.
Well, it sounded weird to us, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, were you going to buy eye drops for her? You're buying at the end? Were you buying lots?
Same stuff that I bought for her all the time. Yeah.
How many boxes of eye drops you thought you'd buy in a week, maybe?
In a week? I don't know a week, but usually every time I went to the store, she'd ask for them, so I'd get anywhere, maybe like 6 at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're probably buying, 6, 3 times a week?
No, I wouldn't think that.
I don't know. I don't know how many times I went to the store for her. Once a week.
I couldn't tell you how often, but usually anytime I went to get her water or something, she'd be like, go get eye drops or get, I always had the same list usually of what she wanted.
When you say water, it's more like bottled water.
Yes.
That's just what she preferred?
Yes. She didn't drink that. She didn't trust her. She didn't, ever since she lived in those apartments, she said the water was just funny. She had tested like 3 times. And she said that it just had a bad taste to it, like well water or whatever, because she's lived in a lot of places with well water. Mm-hmm. So she's been like that for as long as I can remember.
Did you ever taste the water?
I always drink the bottle too. It's habit for me. I just bottle at home.
Just asking if you ever tasted the water. Yeah. Maybe it's, I don't know.
No, I drink bottle just like her. I never liked, because we have funky water too, so.
Did you ever see her, like squirt the stuff in her mouth?
No.
Eye drops? No.
No. No.
No. Did you ever see her use different kinds of alcohol when she's taking her pills?
Oh, a ton. Well, what do you mean alcohol?
Alcohol, like
vodka.
Spirits. Vodka.
Well, yeah, she drank vodka all the time. That's what was her main drink.
The last couple of weeks was she drinking?
She drank up until, I can't even say for sure. I know when she passed, she still had bottles at the house. She normally would go through 2 big things of vodka in 4 days, but I can't honestly say.
When you say big ones, the big 1.75 liter ones?
They're the.
What's the handle on it?
The Fleischmann's. The big Fleischmann's. Or, was it Fleischmann? No.
Oh, Fleischmann's makes a vodka.
I know when I see it's the big plastic bottle. It's the biggest one you can probably get. And she'd go through 2 of those in 4 days. But I don't know what she was really drinking at the end. I don't, because she'd say she wouldn't have one, and I'd come there and she'd have a drink made. So
The day of her death, in the morning when you're there,
yeah.
Do you just think she's drinking that day?
I don't remember if I saw a cup out or not, to be honest.
If you saw her drinking at 9 in the morning, would you?
Oh, no. She used to wake up and drink at 3, 4 in the morning. That was normal.
That was normal?
Yeah. That's half of why, towards the end, she didn't drive a lot, because you never knew when she was going to have a drink.
And when she took pills, and when she's drinking and taking pills, you say, hey, you shouldn't do that? And I know she'd say, it's none of your business, right? Or
if you knew Lynn, she's been doing this for years. This is just what she did. I'm sorry, but it's what she did. She ain't going to change it. You saw her history. She's got 4 or 5 DUIs.
Uh-huh.
She's been doing drugs just as long. She's not going to change because I tell her or anybody tells her. Nor am I going to make her change. It's her choice. She's older than me. I don't do it, but it's just, I guess it's hard for me because you guys don't know her. And anybody who knows her will tell you the same thing. This is how she is. You're not going to tell a full-grown adult that you can't drink when you want. I mean, not kidding. She would call sometimes at 6 in the morning completely wasted. Because that's what she wanted to do. If she felt like it.
She'd call you just to talk?
Oh, yeah. She's going to talk to you for an hour on the phone. And half the time, you didn't know what she was saying, I'll be honest. She was very hard to understand when she started drinking and using her pills and whatever.
Did you go check on her then if she called you at 6 in the morning and all blotto and said...
Usually not at 6 in the morning, but eventually, yes. Not always, because, I mean, that's just how I was used to, that was her. So I knew she wasn't going anywhere. With the DUI, she knew not to get in that vehicle and drive anywhere. So that's why I have to...
She had a history, so she knew the consequences. And
yes. That was one thing she finally learned a long time ago. She never wanted to go back to prison.
When was the last time she was in prison? Do you remember? I don't know either.
I can tell you she got out around the first time I went. That's the best I can tell you.
When was that, roughly?
2010.
You were in prison twice?
I got revoked.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't have, if you thought she was doing something wrong with the pills, you would have tried to stop her, right?
Well, I told her all the time she was doing something wrong, but she doesn't have the right amount of pills in there. But I don't know what you mean by stopping. I'm not going to take her pills away from her.
If she had, you know how you found her. Did you ever see that happen before?
Yes.
When was the last time you saw her that she's spooning pills into her mouth?
First went to the hospital.
Just before?
I would say about a day or two.
And
I'll be honest, there's been 3 times that she said, I want to give up.
yeah,
I don't want to do this anymore. And she always said, the day when it comes, I want your help. The day when it comes, I want your help. I said, I'm not helping you do anything. When it comes to pills or messing around with anything, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
but she
She's
said
a full-grown adult.
like a Dr. Kevorkian type thing to help her kill herself.
She wanted it a million times.
Yeah.
I mean, she just was sick of being sick. And that's why towards the end, I mean, we said, Lynn, you need to go back in. The only one that can help you is a doctor. We physically don't know what more to do for you. When you completely give up and you're not eating, you're not drinking, you're doing whatever you want when you want to your body, but you're not doing physically what your body needs, it's going to shut down on you. And hers was. And that's why when she went in the last time, I mean, they were shocked. We walked in, they said, how are you even walking in here? Granted, we did get her a wheelchair since we got in there.
Mm-hmm.
But she just didn't care. She was at that point where nobody was helping her. They weren't telling her what's wrong with her. She didn't know what more to do.
When you were there the morning of her death, did you get the impression that something bad was going to happen that day?
I didn't, looking back at it after the things she said, right away. I mean, when I came back and when the way I found her and replaying everything in my head from that day, I knew. That's what hurts the most. I didn't know when I left. I mean, obviously, if I would have known, I would have never left. I mean, that's the hardest part I have to live with, is knowing that she did this, and I could have been there, or I could have maybe got her help or something. That's my hardest part. That's why I want to know what the hell's wrong, or what's going on with her. But for me, that's the worst part, is she died, and I wasn't there, and I felt like she did it so I'd find her. Not that she wanted me to find her, but she did it knowing that I was going to find her, and she just wanted to be alone. Mm-hmm. And she did. I mean, she left that day, or I left that day. And, you know, I mean, the things she said, it was just...
Is there something specific that sticks out in your head that she said?
No, she said, I'll see you later on. I mean, her usual. But it was just, you know, she was rushing me. Just go do what you gotta do. Just go. I mean, I'll see you a little bit later. And, you know, and then I think it's just certain things, I guess, over the course of time, you know, that she said. And, you know, she was very big into, you know, I want the doctors, you know, the doctors aren't helping me. I want to know what's wrong. I want to know. And then, you know, the next day I just don't care anymore. I don't want to be here. You know, she hit this where she went back and forth. And she always was, I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of being sick. That's all she ever said. Is I'm sick of being sick. I just want to feel better.
You said earlier that you kind of would crush the pills up for her.
No,
You never did?
Very once in a blue moon. That's when she didn't have the strength or would say, you know, I want this under my plate.
But the day of her death, you didn't crush them for her.
What?
The day of her death, you didn't crush them for her before you left. The last time she caught her with the spoon and the pills, did you have to take the spoon away from her? Did she fight with you?
I mean, I've taken the plate and the spoon away from her, but I've also brought back to her because there were certain pills she couldn't swallow. Physically, she couldn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'd sit there and they'd come back up. Sit there and they come back. So, I mean, it went both ways as far as the pills she crushed. I mean, I didn't sit there and let her crush 20 pills in my presence. You know, I let her, the main few that she always did. Usually if I come back, there'd be more or different ones, or, you know, you can tell by looking at a plate. You know, obviously if they're all white, you can't tell. But, I mean, I'm telling you, I know when I left every day, and I'd come back and the pill amounts aren't what they should be. And then she always kept pills on the side of her that she didn't take anymore. And those were suddenly getting put up on the table, and she'd, I grabbed those by mistake. You know, she'd make up stuff. And she'd act like she didn't, you know, like, I didn't put those there, or I didn't take any of those. I'm like, why are they out?
I'm guessing at one point you tried to, like, get rid of the old pills and try to get it organized.
No, I've never tried to get rid of her old pills. You do not touch her stuff. When it comes to that, you do not. Because her thing was is, if I need it down the road, I'm going to take it. They were her pills prescribed her, even though she wasn't taking them anymore. They were hers. I was not. There's some things you just do not mess with of hers. And that's her medicine and her vodka. Mm-hmm. The one time I tried taking her pills away from her and put them where they were out of her reach and hid them from her so she couldn't find them, she was pissed. Those are her pills. They're prescribed to her. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. We spent an hour and a half fighting about it.
Yeah.
They're her pills. I am not responsible for her. She's a full-grown adult. I gave them back to her because I spent an hour and a half fighting with her.
Oh, I get you, but you have some responsibility because she's paying you to kind of help her.
You have some responsibility.
Sometimes people aren't in the right mind, and it sucks.
It's not that she was like this before she was sick.
Yeah.
If it wasn't this pill, it was that pill. She's been like this for years, and that was before she was sick. She liked her pills. Doesn't matter what it is. There wasn't a set. She was well known to like drugs and alcohol. That never changed. Lynn grew up that way, and she stayed that way. Maybe the pills changed, or the alcohol changed, or the drug of choice, but that's what she did. So it's just. Oh, it's so frustrating sometimes. Just thinking of like how she was.
I'll tell you this: she didn't overdose on any kind of prescription medication.
Okay.
Everything was at therapeutic level.
What does that mean?
That means she didn't have too much of it in her system. If she's supposed to take 200 milligrams of,
They were there.
That's what her blood showed. That's what she was taking.
So what?
What killed her is the eye drops.
Are you serious?
Do you think someone would have went in there and tried to kill her with eye drops?
No.
Put it in her drink?
I swear to God, I don't.
Her vodka?
No.
Does anyone have a motive?
No.
Jim?
No, this would be all her.
Corrine?
100% honest.
Is Corrine financially squared away? She doesn't need the money?
It's nothing for money. This is what Lynn wanted. I'll tell you that. She looked at a million. I didn't know that, but she looked at ways.
Yeah.
Long time ago. She looked at the bag thing. This is something she knew what she was doing, obviously.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize it, but she had to know what she was doing. Lynn was very determined to go out on her own way. She was determined to do things her way. That was just plain and simple. And I hate to say it, but she did what she did. The same with her pills. She got sick on her vodka. She got sick on pills. She did a lot of things that I don't agree with, but she did them the way she wanted them. I don't know how more to say it.
The medical examiner tends to think someone killed her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they didn't find any Visine bottles next to her.
They're all over her house.
But she didn't really move around. That's what we were told, is she didn't really move. So the medical examiner tends to think... I can honestly
tell you, I know they're all
that someone gave it to her.
No. I was the only one there.
I didn't see any Visine.
I did not give her... They're all in her bathroom. And there was 2 in her nightstand.
Not next to her.
They were on her nightstand next to her. I swear to God, I know they were, because she always kept them right there.
Oh, there's a picture of the nightstand. The medical examiner does a real thorough job when it comes to
I agree with what you're saying. 100%. But
and there's no
I don't know anybody who would do that to her, and I'm not lying. I don't know anybody who would want to do that.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know anybody.
I don't know either. That's why I'm asking you.
I know. Out of curiosity, she was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Why wasn't this found there?
Apparently the body metabolizes it very quickly. That's why you can put it in your eyes. When I say metabolize, you know what that means?
No. Well, I do.
Process it real quickly.
Yeah.
And people use eye drops like a date rape drug, so they can slip it in your drink like a Mickey.
I've heard that.
Yeah. In fact, it was in a movie one time, apparently.
Then White Crashers, I think.
Yeah.
It was used to, like, diarrhea or something.
Yeah, it gives you diarrhea. Yeah. And did Lynn have diarrhea at all?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Which kind of mean the medical examiner thinks someone was giving this to her in an attempt to kill her. Because she has a lot of it in her.
What do you mean a lot?
A lot. Like not enough, you can't take it through your eyes. It has to be ingested. Through orally.
I've never seen her drink it. Ever. Ever. And why would you drink eye drops? What would it taste like? I don't even know, but...
I don't know. It's very odd. This is why it's taking so long.
So...
There's not a lot of research on this either.
I understand.
It's not like rat poison. The little rat poison thing with the wife and the husband.
All her medications were completely normal. I find that very weird.
In fact, there's no There's 2 pills in her stomach. That's it. The medical examiner thinks the body was staged.
I was the only one there, and I didn't stage anybody. I'm not lying. I was the only one there.
I haven't
So
accused
you're
you
freaking,
either.
I know, but you're freaking me out right now because I know what people are going to think, and I spent the most amount of time with her, and I didn't kill her. This is my family.
I told you
I
I had
have no
news,
reason.
and here it is.
This is.
Something's wrong.
I see that, obviously. I mean, I kind of figured something was wrong, period, because I didn't think it should take this long, but I didn't think this is what you told me. I thought it was going to be too hard to figure out pills or something of that nature.
It's real odd because the pills are where they're supposed to be. Everything's fine. There's no pills in her stomach. When I say no, there's 2 pills.
Yeah.
Which is inconsistent to her.
That's inconsistent with what she should have been taking on a regular basis. Well, I don't know how long pills metabolize.
And I don't know either how long it takes to process through the system. Yeah. But if someone's spooning pills into their mouth, they're going to be here. And they're not here.
Yeah.
And this tetrahydrazine.
What about the pudding? Did they find pudding?
I don't know. I can't answer.
I mean, I'm just curious because I do know the day before I was there when
stomach contents, like pills. Yeah. Pills kind of stand out.
Yeah. Well, no, I understand, but I'm saying if they're crushed pills, I just remember the day before when I left at nighttime, she took her pills in her pudding, and I was there for that.
Yeah.
That was like her regular.
But you saw her in the morning, and she's fine. I mean, everything's cool.
I mean, she wasn't fine, but she wasn't.
She wasn't like this. She was talking to you. I'll see you later, hon.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And then you come back, like at what?
I mean, she was asleep when I got there. She was her regular, when we talked for a little bit, it wasn't like.
You didn't think something was imminently wrong?
No, nothing.
You need to call 911.
No. I would have called in a heartbeat, obviously. I mean, I'm the one who took her in. I'm the one who called the other times if she didn't. I would have never thought anything of that nature, ever.
Again, the medical examiner is concerned because it looks like the body's staged with the spoon and the plate because there's no pills in her. Her medicines are fine therapeutically in the blood. Everything's where it's supposed to be. There's this tetrahydrazine in her system, and I'm probably mispronouncing that.
I don't.
However, you're supposed to have 0 parts in your body.
Mm-hmm.
She has 160 parts. They say 60 parts is lethal to an adult. That's kind of the common belief in the medical.
Like, how much is that? Like
a part. When you say part, that's a scientific term.
Okay.
So.
I mean, is that like 5 glasses or?
The medical examiner thinks to think about 4 to 5 bottles. Of the little bottles of eye drops, the typical Visine drops. And it's probably given in a short period of time.
So when they say like time, when did they think she died? Do they know that?
Exactly, they don't. And it's not like on TV where they put a thermometer in and go, the body's been dead approximately between 4 and 2 hours, 2 and 4 hours. It doesn't work that way in real life. She obviously died that day. Yeah. They know that based on the rigor mortis and that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. But even that's not an exact science to the minute. So that's why we're real concerned about how there's no pills in her. The blood's therapeutic. She's at high level of this drug in her system. And it has to go in real quickly. Because originally, when we found this out, we kind of thought, well, maybe this was being done over a period of time. Yeah. That it builds up in your system, that kind of stuff. Like being accidentally ingested through the eyes, and it took her a long time. A lot of calls to Boston, that kind of stuff to get some more information on this. A lot of real smart people have been working on this for the last January. Since January.
I get it. They've been working on it for a long time. That's why I thought we got something.
So, I mean, the medical examiner is going to say that she was poisoned with Visine. Now, the question is how it got in her.
Yeah, I understand that.
You don't think, what's the neighbor's name again? Not Judy, it's Jean. You don't think Jean would do it?
I don't see anybody doing this. I really don't. I mean, I know all these people, but I don't see any of them doing this. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't see any of it. I don't. This just doesn't even sound right in my mind. It's It's like mind blowing because I thought for sure it was this, and I would have never in a million years thought differently. And I'm being 100%. I just don't see it.
Well, they're trying to look at this as a murder.
That's just insane to me. And this is why I'm here.
One of the reasons.
Do you guys think I murdered her?
Did you?
I swear to God, I didn't. I did not.
One have the most to gain on this.
I have no reason to murder her. I could see why people would think I'd have the most to gain. I have no reason to murder her. She was my family. I'd rather have her be here now. I did not murder her. Under whatever I have to, I did not murder her. I did not. I'm 100% honest with you.
Did you?
I didn't give her.
Help her end her life?
I didn't help her end her life.
Because I'd understand if you did.
I did so. I swear to God I did.
Because my dad's dying there. He's saying, Christopher, I want to die.
I get that.
And
she said it.
And just tearing you, and you love him so much, and you don't know what to do.
No, I did. I swear to God. I did not. I've gotten her everything she wanted, but I never would have thought that. I would have never, in a million years, I would have never done this. I would have never done this. This is the worst thing that, for anybody. And if she even knew this right now, or knew that I was going through this, she would be in shock. Complete shock. Because this isn't what she would have wanted. I can tell you that for 100%. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't help her. I didn't do anything without what she wanted. And I don't even want to say it like that because it doesn't sound right. But I didn't give her anything. I didn't even give her pills wrong or vodka or drug. I didn't give her anything. I didn't give her this eye drop or whatever it's called. I didn't do any of that. I didn't give her anything except for buying her stuff. I didn't physically put anything in anything, crush up anything, make her swallow anything, I didn't do it, whatever it is. I didn't do it. I can tell you that. It didn't happen. I didn't feed her anything. Everything she did was on her own will, except with I would put in, or I would get her water or get her pudding for her or crush up the few things, but I never put anything in anything except the way she had it. Mm-hmm. I didn't put eye drops or anything with eye drops except purchase them. I didn't give them to her. I did nothing. I swear to God on that. I didn't. This is just freaking me out right now.
How much money did she give you over the last 2 years, do you think?
A lot. I don't know. Dollar-wise.
Throw a number out at me.
Maybe $20,000.
If a forensic accountant looked at the stuff, it's
$20,000.
Well, I guess I don't really
Somebody gives me
think
$200,000
about
and $20,000. I
get it that way. I guess I just don't sit and think about all she's done a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I don't sit and think about it that way. And me killing her is going to do what? What would that do? I'm just curious because how would I get her money then? Why would I kill her for money?
I mean, it's
my family.
I tend to think that you didn't, when you say kill her, I don't think you killed her. I think she was sick and she didn't want to, she was done. And she wanted to finish her life, and she needed help. She wanted help.
I understand.
And I think you helped her.
As far as helped her, though, I didn't.
I think you administered her some of that Visine.
I did not.
The medical examiner tends to think that someone else had to give it to her because it makes you real lethargic, and you kind of fall in and out of consciousness at the levels of what was in her, which means someone has to keep giving it to her. Because she's not capable of going to get another bottle. She won't be capable of disposing of the bottles, which aren't found around her. She needed someone to help her.
Yeah, I always picked up her garbage, brought her new bottles, but I didn't put anything in them. I'd never even uncapped them for her. She did that herself.
I gotcha. But that day, with the level of drug in her, someone needed to give it to her. Because once she starts to take it, she's not going to be able to function properly. At that level of toxicity, she won't be able to walk. She'll be able to keep her eyes open.
I wasn't there though, and I have receipts to prove that. I wasn't there. I was there for a short time. Does that not help me? Because I can see what you guys are thinking, but I literally was shocked.
I'm thinking that you helped her.
I didn't help her. I swear to God, I did not help her. I would tell you the honest to God truth. She's asked me a million times to help her with things, and I did not help her.
So you're there for a short time. What's a short time?
Like an hour or two at the most.
And then you went back home, or you said you ran errands.
I ran errands. I went to stores. I was shopping for hours.
Which store did you go to then?
I went to Pick and Save.
Which one?
On Highway 100. I can get you receipts for everything.
Highway 100 and where?
Hold on, wait. Let me just rethink and make sure I got the right stores.
Just take your time.
No, because this is a big deal. I'm sorry,
take your
officer.
time. It is a big deal.
I believe it was Pick and Save on Highway 100 and House Corners. Woodman's. I think I went to Woodman's. It was like 4 stores. Walmart. It was those stores, and I have actual like receipts and proof I went. I mean, I can get them. I don't have them on me, but I was literally gone for like maybe 4 to 6 hours. I mean, the neighbor knows when I was there that morning when I left. I wasn't there a ton of that day, and I left and I was gone for a couple hours. I don't know. It was like maybe 4 to 6. I don't know.
When you found Lynn, who'd you call?
I called 911 immediately.
Whose phone?
I don't know if it was my phone or the home phone. I think it was the home. I honestly don't know.
You know what time you got there?
Maybe 5 or 6. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, you called 911 at 4:55.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
No, we got your phone records.
I mean, I really called.
You know, somebody called 911, but we got your cell phone records.
Okay.
You called your mom 4 minutes before that, and you're already there.
Because I was probably pulling up.
Why would you call your mom as you were pulling up?
I don't know. I talk to my mom all the time. I really do. I talk to her all the time. I don't know why I would have... I don't know for sure that day why I would have called her first. I don't know.
Did you call her first?
I honestly don't know. I don't think so. I thought I called 911 first.
Kind of looks like you called your mom first and then 911.
I don't.
People are shocked through weird things.
I honestly don't know right now. I mean, this is all just shocking me out right now.
How long do you think you were there that morning?
At the most, 2 hours.
It's not consistent with the phone records.
Okay. How long was I there? I thought it was about 2 hours. I'm sorry, this happened 9 months ago, 10 months ago now.
You were there for about 4 hours. Again, it's a difference, Jesse. If we tell you,
I understand. You want me to remember 9, 10 months ago?
We want specific details because when you tell us
I get
that the gap, just like before, when it was, no, she gave me about 20,000. No, she gave me 200,000. There's a significant 2 hours and 4 hours is a pretty big time gap. So we're trying to figure this out.
I understand. I wrote a statement that day, though. That's my best recollection. It's been how long?
It matches what you just said. It matches what you just said. So your statement's off, and now what you're telling us is off because you're there for about 4 hours.
I did not kill her. Oh my God, this is just... I did not kill her. I didn't give her anything. I've never given her anything. It's just insane. I don't even... I never gave her any Visine, I swear to God. I've never put it in her stuff, ever. Not the day she died, not prior, not nothing.
Did anybody ever... And, you know, this is the time. It's all about the truth.
Yeah.
Did you or someone else in those last couple months fill out any paperwork for loans or open any credit cards? And again, we've been digging for months on this. So, Jesse, who was trying to do that shit?
Lynn and me together, we took out a loan from, God, what was the name of it? You guys do know, because the papers were there, she was trying to mortgage her house. She was trying to mortgage her house, and she couldn't do that.
Well, clearly,
And then there was
clearly,
yeah.
when we were there that day,
Yeah.
we didn't know this. We didn't know what was going on
Yeah.
for a couple months before
Yeah.
that medical examiner called, so there's a
Yeah.
problem. So, no, we don't know a
Okay.
lot of what was happening.
I
in the
did
house.
say that though, I think, last time, 'cause it said she had the condo. She
Okay,
hated it.
yeah. Okay, but so
Yeah.
you guys are trying to. Where was this?
We looked numerous times at her bank, and then she took out one from, she had me looking all over for different places. I don't know the name of it offhand right now, but we tried a lot of different things because her main goal was to get out of there, to put that place up for sale, get out of there, and get somewhere else. But realistically, she didn't have the funds anymore to do that. That's what she wants. She hated that condo.
Why do you think she would give you that much money if she was out of money? Don't you think that's weird?
Well, she wasn't out of money when she first started. She wasn't out of money at the beginning. That was towards the end. I wouldn't say she was out of money. She just spent it how she wanted to spend it. It wasn't that she was completely out.
Did she apply? I mean, who applied for loans? Because we know there were
Both
loans.
of us. She had me look up online stuff for her because she didn't do anything online. So I will say both of us. I didn't do anything fraudulently.
Do you remember where?
Offhand, most of them, no, I don't. I'm going to be honest. I mean, we looked at so many places. She can have internet access, but I never did anything without her permission. I'm not lying. That's one thing I didn't do. To everything I've ever done, I've had permission from Lynn. I mean, she has in writing a million different things because of that. I've never forged her name. I've never nothing.
Were you in debt?
Not really.
What would you do with the money? Then what would you have done with $200,000 over?
I mean, I was at that time.
Someone tried to open up credit when she was still alive.
Yeah, we did. A lot of times.
It wasn't your phone number that was used.
Okay.
It wasn't her phone number.
So who was it?
It was your mom.
What? Why would my mom do that?
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't know.
You see why things look real weird all the time?
Yeah.
Because we look into Lynn's financials, and there's a bunch of stuff there
Mm-hmm.
prior to her death. And it's like, well, this doesn't make a lot of sense because she's taking good care of you.
Yeah. I told you.
I mean, you're making your money,
Yeah.
you're taking care of her, and I know how people
Yeah.
can be. So I'm not faulting you on taking care of someone that's sick because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard like when someone's tushy. I get it.
But she also was that type of person, and I said it. So, I mean, obviously, I feel like anything I say isn't believable at this point. But she was, and the hospital can attest to this because she said when she was there, I am going to run up my debt. I am not leaving anything, and I am not paying anything. That was what she said all the time. I mean, it wasn't a joke. I wasn't making it up. She used to be in debt her whole life until her parents died. And her thing is she's not leaving shit. She's not paying anybody, and she's not leaving it for them. That was always her thing.
Why would your mom try to take a loan out in her name?
I don't see my mom doing that, to be honest.
Would you use your mom's phone number to apply online with a credit for Lynn?
We might have, but everything I did was with
Why
Lynn's
wouldn't you use
permission.
your number or
I
Lynn's
don't know.
number?
That's what I find weird about it. It's sure, like, it wasn't like a second number because I've always used my own or Lynn's. Me and Lynn, everything we applied for, we did together, and I'm not lying. I never tried to take anything out without her knowing. Ever. That I can honestly say.
What happened to the jewelry?
We sold it.
Let me see what you.
Well, there's still her ring left.
So the pendants and the $10,000 bracelet you told me about, where's that?
That 10,000 bracelet was sold.
Where?
It's on the corner of 76th Street. Everyone who's involved knows it was sold. They know all about it.
Who sold it?
Me and Anthony made the decision to sell it.
So is it Anthony sold it? Someone's got to put their name on the paper.
No, we talked about it. I brought it in and sold it. We went to about 8 different places.
Okay. So the one on 76, is
It's,
that Robert Hack?
yes.
That's right, I got my wedding ring. Where else did you go?
For the ring?
To sell stuff.
Oh, we went everywhere. I mean, I looked all over. Like, names? I don't know exact names, I'll be honest, but I thoroughly searched around. Like, I went to...
So how much did you get for the $10,000 bracelet?
19.
1,900?
Mm-hmm. Because they said it wasn't worth it. And that was after taking it into 8 different jewelry stores.
And they all said about $2,000?
I got everywhere as low as 1,100.
Really?
Yeah.
And Anthony was with you when that happened?
No, he knows about it.
What?
And there's documentation, my driver's license, and they have everything.
Mm-hmm. Did you do that right away, or did you wait a while?
No, we waited.
Okay.
And actually, that went on in the estate account, and that went to pay one of Lynn's creditors through Waukesha County.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, he helped you dispose of the property then?
Some of it, yeah.
Do you remember last time we had that estate sale that was a pain in the jukebox?
Yeah.
He got half of those funds.
Mm-hmm.
Was he supposed to get the car?
No. He says so, but that was always promised to my mom.
Because Jim thought he was supposed to get the car.
Yeah. Anthony said she said it, but there was paperwork on that, and that was always promised to my mom.
Did your mom have the car?
Mm-hmm.
I keep swinging back to this medical examiner report that's puzzling.
I agree.
And I have to explain it. We have to explain it to the boss. And eventually maybe a judge. Is it possible? I mean, that you got the bottles for Lynn that morning, left it on the table next to her?
No.
No?
No, I didn't get her any Visine that morning that I even know of. I think probably the last time I got it, I don't know when the last time was I bought it for, I don't know. I know that morning though, I'm almost positive I did not go to the store before I went to her house. And I know she always had 1 or 2 on one of those tables by her and the rest were in her bathroom. I know that for a fact.
But the last 2 days were that she was moving around so well because you said she...
Well, she was getting up though at least once or twice a day.
She
got the pee thing right there. Yes, she did. But that was just in case I wasn't there to help her. She made herself get up once or twice a day to get some movement because she had to. Mm-hmm. So usually I would help walk with her or she would use her walker thing. No, she did get up, but not a lot. I mean, I said that already.
So do you think if she's impaired that she could get up and walk around? Probably not, right?
I mean, she did to an extent. Not often. I did not give her the Visine.
Do you have any medical training?
No. I work at a dental office.
Have you ever worked at a hospital or patient?
I did do third shift ER admitting, but I was the patient. I was the front desk. Yeah.
Because I guess what concerned me, as you said earlier, that so Lynn was in the hospital, you'd bring her meds.
Mm-hmm.
You were probably well aware that of course they're going to give her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you bring it to her knowing that could be a problem?
Okay, so now remember what I said because you
got a little clarify that for me.
Okay, so they took away her certain meds from her. They were giving her generic something. She has a prescription. It was due for a refill. I didn't know that. She knew her refill days and everything. She asked me to go pick it up. I got it for her since it's her prescription. When I brought it back, I let the staff know at the hospital that I went and got it for her. I don't know if she's allowed to have it. She wanted it. So I said, please, no, do whatever you want to do. I just want to make you aware. She had it, and they did. They took it from her. They went in. She had it on her stand, like under a cup or something. I didn't know where she put it. They knew that. But they went in there and they took it from her. And they told her, we'll give it back to you when you're released.
Would anyone else would have tried to help her?
I honestly don't know. I don't see it. But obviously I don't see any of this right now, so I don't know.
Did you and Posa know each other before her death?
What?
Did you and Anthony know each other before her death?
We never officially met. I knew Corrine, but not him, no. We didn't, like I said, none of Lynn's friends really hung out with each other. We didn't hang out with Jim. We didn't hang out with, they all knew of each other, but we didn't hang out together.
Do you know how he found out about Lynn's death?
I think from me. I'm the one who notified most people, but some of them got a hold of each other ahead of time too, so I don't.
How'd you get his number?
She had her phone book. And I knew Judy's number, because me and Judy always kept in contact when she was sick.
And Judy's his mother?
Judy is...
Or Corrine's the mother?
Yes. Judy is Jim's mother.
Jim's mother. Is Corrine and Judy, are they just friends? Are they related?
I don't know if they're friends. They're not related.
Okay. You don't think Jim would have went there, do you?
I don't know any of them enough to tell you. I don't. I'm sorry, but I don't.
Does your mom know Jim?
A little, but I don't know to what extent. Jim was around when I was little, so I don't really remember.
So your mom knows Jim then? If Jim was around when you were little,
but I don't know. Like I said, a lot of us know each other, but we didn't all hang out together. So I don't know how much of the time he was around when my mom was. I know they were dating on and off then, but I don't know to what extent.
What do you say that? Sorry, I got confused. Your mom was dating Jim?
No.
Lynn.
Lynn.
Okay. So he's around, but you're there with Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows your mom through Lynn. Why would your mom call and threaten him?
Because he has been nothing but an asswipe this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He's been so mean, so rude. He was mad at us because he kept calling when she was in the hospital. Well, she didn't want anybody to know. And then I finally did end up telling him. So he was nothing but rude with us the last umpteen months. He was just not nice. Not nice. And my mom
give us some examples, because calling to find out Lynn's in the hospital doesn't seem like it's being...
No, they called, went to my house, she was in the hospital, and I answered the phone. And they didn't like that she wasn't answering it. And I said, well, I'm sorry, Lynn's in the hospital right now. Well, why didn't anybody call us? I said, because she didn't want anybody to know.
And that's reasonable.
And then, well, who are you? I said, I'm Jessy. I've been helping them. Well, who are you? I said, he didn't remember who I was. Very rude and nasty with me. It was very, I don't know how to explain it, but and then when we called him, he was the first one to say, okay, can I come to your house and pick up whatever I want? He didn't have a good demeanor about any of it. And I guess why we weren't a big fan is because he started dating somebody years ago, and that girl was not the friendliest person, but she always came around, and she thought her and Lynn were best friends, and Lynn couldn't stand her. But Lynn always loved Jim, so she always went out of her way, So it just, when my mom drank, or when she drinks, she gets very heated, and he just sets her off, is what it is. He made, I don't remember, I thought he said something or did something that frustrated her. When she drinks, she's just a person that gets very upset. I hate to say it, but she does. So she'll just tell you
it was pretty vulgar. I didn't expect to hear it out of your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your mom looks like she'd take care of herself, but this was like, oh my God.
No. That's what she was.
Do you know why she would? You see how it all looks real weird. She calls him. She calls him in February. This is after the death.
I know why she called. Because I think this is that situation. I almost has it. I had a visit that month with my probation officer,
mm-hmm.
and she told me that somebody contacted her about Lynn. I was wondering why I was a beneficiary or something along that nature. I don't remember the exact wording. She didn't give me a lot of information. She said, well, you're talking to the wrong person, blah, blah, and anyway, so when I saw my PO, she brought it up to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's really weird. But she didn't tell me who it was. I said, that's really weird that somebody would call. Well, Jim's the only one we had issues with after Lynn died. He was the first one who wanted to go to her house. He wanted to be in charge of everything. He wanted, this, that, whatever. He's the one who wanted the bracelet. He was very furious he wasn't going to get it. And same with Kareen's brother-in-law. So when the PO was telling me this, I said, well, I'm just assuming this is probably Jim because he was out to do anything he could do. So that's what. So I remember.
Who's Kareen's brother-in-law? It's the first time I heard of him.
No, I brought him up to you. I can't think of his name right. Keith.
Well, what's his issue?
He's the one that Lynn used to always do drugs with. He's the one after she
died.
Now I kind of remember. Stuff. He's the one who also wanted the bracelet. She had the same people who wanted the same things that they were all for.
This famous bracelet?
Yeah.
That you get $1,900 for?
Yeah, that I didn't think was famous at all and didn't have any interest in.
It's puzzling.
Everything you've told me today is puzzling to me right now. My mind is.
I told you I had information. I mean, I didn't lie there. I mean, it's pretty significant.
Yeah, I understand. Can I be honest? You arrested me for this today?
Nope.
Am I going to be sitting on a probation hold because of this?
You're on a probation hold because you're agent. I think she's upset about the money. Between me and you. Did you pay taxes on that money? Did you claim it?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yeah.
It's not the IRS says.
Yeah, I did.
You claimed $200,000 in the last 2 years?
No, not all of it. I didn't have to claim all of it. You don't have to. I had an accountant do my taxes.
Yeah. You know you got $200,000 from Lynn?
I don't know if he knew all, because I didn't get it all in 1 year, though.
No, it's over a couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are making it sound like she just gave me this money and then...
No, she didn't write you a check for $200 large.
No.
But there's transfers, there's checks she wrote you, and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're paying your restitution back. That's what kind of cheesed the PO off.
Yeah.
Which, that's between you and her.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about your prior case. Because I just want to make sure that because she said you're a model client.
I mean, that's why I was delirious because they come busting down my door this morning, which I never had happened to me. And I watched Live PD and all that stuff, so that freaked me out. And then they said they were taking me to Waukesha, and I was like delirious. I'm going, wait a minute, Waukesha? And I said, is this all because I didn't go and see them? I didn't have a problem seeing you guys. I just honestly couldn't make it because of a job that I'm no longer going to have. So I was just, all of this had me in shock. I'm like, what is going on? And then also I saw you guys, and then I really like put 2 and 2 together, and I'm going, I had no problem talking to you. I just couldn't make it this morning at 9 a.m., but.
I know you didn't have a problem, but everyone has a boss in life,
Mm-hmm.
and when the medical examiner is saying we have a homicide, and you're the one that's last seen with her, and you had a lot of financial gain from her over the last couple of years.
But I wouldn't kill her for it, I'll tell you that.
And again, I told you I didn't think you did it.
I
think, again, I told you what I think. I was pretty honest. I think Lynn wanted to die, and you helped her. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and it's a plausible explanation because based on my investigation of you, you're a pleasant person. You don't do dope. Your criminal history, besides the financial stuff, is very vanilla.
Yeah.
You work. Your boyfriend seemed like a decent dude.
Oh, he's great. I mean, I'm so glad the kids were at the house because he would have.
You know what I'm saying?
Had a heart attack.
But you don't seem to have the pedigree of a cold-blooded killer. You get it?
No.
The people with big hearts.
No.
That's the kind of person I think you are. And I think if someone that you're seeing every day is saying every day, I don't want to be here, I'm sick of being sick, they can convince you to assist them in ending their life.
No.
That's the most plausible explanation to all this. That's what I think. I don't think that you were trying to gain financially. Like you said, she was in such debt that you got almost nothing.
And it wasn't, I never cared about that. I mean, honestly, she's done so much for me over the years that.
And I get that. So, if I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer, the only other explanation, if you're the one that's there at the morning of her death, and you're the one that finds the body, and the ME says you're the one, or the body, it appears that this is a homicide. Assisted suicide is the only explanation in my brain, unless you can think of something else, but I can't. And that's something you can go to a judge and say, listen, judge, I'm there every day with her. She's dying, and there's nothing I can do about it. She's begging me to help her. And hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have. But this woman, you don't understand, Judge, she was in pain. She was sick. She wouldn't eat. She wouldn't drink. She didn't want her diaper changed. It was to the point where I didn't know what else to do. That's plausible explanation. I don't know what, there's no one else, like you said. Everyone kind of liked her, and that's what I'm hearing from everyone. No one hated her. She didn't have a drug dealer she owed money to.
No.
Her finances were okay. She had debt, but she wasn't in hock or nothing. It was just,
no.
She was done.
Just let me ask you, do you know where your mom lives?
She works for Crohn's.
Crohn's, and where is that?
Franklin. Why, you guys went on a surgery?
No, I went to.
We're going to continue to investigate. That's what we're going to do.
No, I understand that.
Do you want a water or something?
If I could, please. I'm so parched right now trying to find.
She just may come at you. I don't know.
I understand that. I get that. You guys have to. I just wanted to know what you guys were doing as of this moment.
It's a probation hold. That's it.
Do you know when I will see her?
I will call her when we're done talking.
I'm paranoid about my job right now. It's bad because I'm new. I'm new. I don't need to lose it. It's a good job. It's a really good job. I'm paranoid about this too. Don't get me wrong, but I can't wrap my head around this right this minute. There's been a lot that I'm like, what is? And
I can respect that.
We
can both agree that you're not a cold-blooded killer.
I'm not. I can tell you that for sure.
And you have a big heart.
This is not what in a million years, I would have never thought this. I'm not kidding.
I've been doing this a lot of years, and I have never seen anything, this kind of case.
Yeah.
And basically nationwide, there's only been like 2 or 3. That's why it took so long.
Yeah.
Because, doctors don't go on assumptions.
Yeah.
They go on scientific facts. So this is why it's taken such a long time. And then because of the length of the ME's investigation, we dug into a lot of stuff. And it just, otherwise we don't have the opportunity to look so thoroughly into the financial stuff and all that kind of thing. We don't have that opportunity. And again, him and I disagree, but I think you helped her out. That's what I think. She wanted to go, and she needed a person, and you're the one that she trusted and loved.
I can say, I bought her eye drops. I've never put them in anything, and I would have never thought that ever in a million years. That's the biggest thing that's blowing my mind right now.
Oh, she don't have internet access.
No. She doesn't. We always did everything on the internet. I'm with my phone. Always. She wasn't an internet person.
There's no searches on your phone for this, is there?
No.
Or any of your computers?
No.
Because they're going to look at them.
I understand that.
And again, going back, you don't know why your mother would try to.
I don't see my mom doing that. I really don't.
Was your mom there when you and Lynn were trying to do a credit app once? It's not for a mortgage. It's for one of those unsecured lines of credit, like a personal loan. And it was done 3 times using your mom's number.
All 3 times? I know my mom didn't do it. I know that for sure.
She didn't seem like the kind of girl that would go online to apply for stuff. She seemed like a fake kind of lady.
It wasn't in my mom's name, was it? It was in Lynn's name.
Lynn's name was your mom's phone
So
number.
I'm guessing it would have had been one of the ones we did. Maybe I put it in wrong or so. Because obviously I know my mom's stuff, my Lynn's stuff. I know all of our stuffs very well, but My mom wouldn't do it. I can tell you that. I know that for 100%. And I didn't do anything without Lynn. Everything I did was with Lynn. I didn't ever be like, oh, I'm going to take out a loan today, and Lynn's saying, I've been there, done that years ago.
Well, you can see why we.
That's why when you guys started questioning me, I went, okay, I know where we're going because I know my past.
You know, see why we would think that.
I understand that part. That I can tell you, I get. I'm on paper for a reason. I can understand that 100%. I could see you sitting me here that all day. Now, when you're talking about murder, that's a completely. But as far as the paper.
When we say homicide, that's a technical term.
Yeah. You say homicide, I watch Life PD every day.
Okay. Homicide.
Those people they get arrested and do life. I don't deserve life for something I didn't do. I can tell you that wholeheartedly.
I got you. The term homicide everyone has a picture of someone shooting someone. It doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
It means the death is unnatural. And if it's not suicide, then it has to be a homicide. But it doesn't mean, assisted suicide is still considered a homicide technically. That's not what you're charged with. So, I mean, we throw that term out there, but it's real technical. Legal term, how attorneys are.
I mean, it's a lot of information that I didn't.
Was your PO upset with you when she found out you were the personal representative and handling the estate?
She wasn't crazy about it. But I told her I was honest with everything from the get-go. I never lied about any of it. I told her, because anytime I had police contact, I told her, and that's all of a sudden what I thought of right away. That's fine. I thought about it right away today when we were coming here. I went, oh my gosh, I didn't tell her I had police contact. And I mean, I had contact, but I didn't even physically talk to you. But I tell her everything.
Did you tell her when Lynn died and that you were taking care of the estate?
Yep.
Back in October?
Yep. I let her know when she passed away, shortly after when I found out that I was in charge of it. Because she said, had you asked me first, I would have told you not to do it. And I said, well, I didn't choose to do it. I didn't even know it was me. Physically, last we knew it was my mother and Anthony. That was the last time that we knew. I didn't know she changed it to me. I did not know that. So when we actually called, we always had the information, who to call. When we actually called her, my mom called and she said, I need to talk to your daughter. My mom's like, what are you talking about? I'm in charge of everything. She said, no, you're not. So we didn't know until that actual phone call because I didn't know she changed anything.
Who'd you call? Is there an attorney or something?
Lisa, I gave you her information. Okay. Lisa Merton.
When you were placed on the accounts, I think at BMO, did you go there physically with Lynn together to sign the cards?
What do you mean I was placed on the accounts?
Weren't you a signer on the BMO Harris accounts?
I had access to, I don't think I was a signer. I think I just had access to the lockbox and something else, but I was with her.
Okay.
But I don't remember what exact, I know it was for the lockbox and something, but I don't know. I don't think it was, I don't know for sure. But I went with her, yes.
Okay. But
because their BMO Harris's makes you sign both, because my mom went with her prior too. Okay. Both people have to be present.
Was that about the time you think Lynn changed to the personal representative? I mean, did you ever talk to you about it? Obviously not, if you're saying you didn't know.
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know when she changed it. I know she changed the BMO Harris, and then she changed her medical, and she changed her medical just strictly because my mom couldn't be with her all the time.
And you were there.
And I was there more. So she switched that because she was worried when she would go to the hospital or things of that my mom wouldn't be physically able to, help or be there or anything. But I don't know. That was done, both of those, I think the bank was done maybe a year and a half before she died, maybe. I'm guessing here, I don't. And the health was done, I would guess, in the last year to maybe 10 months. I don't even know for sure. But those were done, I know of those because I was present for both of those. As far as the will, I wasn't present. I didn't know.
Okay.
That was, because Anthony thought the same thing too. That him and, I don't know if he knew my mom, but I think he thought just him or something. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm zoning on everything else that you told me today that I can't even think straight at this point.
Why does Anthony get the money and not Corrine?
because just like me versus my mom, Lynn had it.
But you're there every day. I can understand why she wants to take care of you.
Lynn had it set up that first it was supposed to be Corinne and my mom. And then she said, well, if you guys outlive me or something of that nature. And Anthony was kind of like, I don't want to say a godson. I mean, he was like me, but he really didn't do anything. He just was somebody that she cared about. Mm-hmm. I don't really know how to put it because I didn't know him before. She always talked about him and, talked about his birthdays and stuff like that. But she always said, I want you two to meet, but we never did. So I don't have the answers for that.
Okay. That's one odd.
Yeah, a lot of people, I've heard that, but I don't know. I just look at Corinne was her good friend like my mom was, and,
You understand because you're in the soup, Boots on the ground, you're there. You know what I mean? You're there taking care of her. That's the person you want to take care of when you pass, Yeah,
I don't know.
Do you think, if it's somehow possible, do you think Lynn would have taken all this? Because she could just overdose on her prescriptions without taking this other drug. That's what's odd about it, too.
That's what I thought she did.
That's what we kind of thought she happened at first. Yeah. Until the MD calls and says, we got a problem.
So do I think what?
Why do you think she would?
I don't. I don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me. I assumed this whole time it was pills. That's what I assumed. That's what she was known for. So I don't know, were the pills not agreeing with her, where she wasn't keeping them down, I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. I really don't. That's kind of where I'm at right now with you telling me this. I don't, at this point, my head is spinning, trying to figure out any of this right now. Because I'm trying to think why, what, where, all of it. I don't know.
I know what you said when asked you several times, or said several times, I'm done, and kind of reference to helping her kill herself. Did you ever consider doing it?
No.
Never?
No.
Even though she's in such pain, so sick?
For me, it wasn't an option because I don't think like that. I think of the states that have, what is that like assisted, where the doctor helps you. I think that's, great, and I think every state should have that, but I don't feel that I'm a doctor and I can make those calls. I don't. That's my honest belief on that. I don't feel that that's something that, I feel that that's a lot to ask of somebody.
If she would have told you to call the doctor to do it, would you have done that for her?
To call a doctor and do it? Well,
let's say we lived in California where you can do this.
Well, just make a phone call.
Jessy, call the doctor because I'm done.
Yeah, I would have called.
That's her comfortable with.
That again, that's her decision, but it's a lot different than picking up a phone call and trying to do something to somebody, or two different things in my mind.
While you were out of the office, I kind of explained to her that I don't think she's a cold-blooded killer, that I think she has a good heart. And my thought was that she helped Lynn finish her life. That's what happened. And also, you and I disagree on that point. That's why we're good partners, because we two different kind of visions here, If for some reason this comes down, I want to give you the opportunity to say, I didn't kill her for money.
I didn't kill her
for money. That was bad.
I said that numerous times already because I feel like that's what you guys think.
Well, that's what he thinks.
I know that just by my past and what you guys came out with, I already know what the thinking in there. I get it.
I think I
get it.
Let's take your past aside. What I see is somebody who has, I think, for a caretaker to get $200,000. Hold on a second, just hear me out. I think outsider looking in, I think ask the average person, someone got $200,000 over the span of 2 years, and now that money is dwindling, and suddenly you're assigned executor of the will of the estate, and then suddenly now is this suspicious death where she was staged. Somebody staged her death. And it turns out that she was poisoned. For all intents and purposes, she was poisoned because there's no way she's making it from one end of the house to the other with the level of Visine in her system, especially given her mobility issue. She's not making it. So you're the one having the most contact. You're the one taking care of her on that daily basis. You're telling, now you go into, she gave me 20,000. It's the inconsistencies that we struggle with, that I struggle with. It's that 20,000. It's that I was only there for an hour or two. No, you were there for 4 hours. And your phone records don't put you on Highway 100. They go back to your house and then to another place. And
I can tell you.
Again, right before you call 911, you're on the phone with your mom.
I mean, I'm on my phone all the time. I
agree, but I find it funny that 4 to 5 minutes before you call 911, you're on the phone with your mom. But then again, you got to account for walking in, finding Lynn, calling 911.
I can tell you one way you guys can check, because you're already looking at records. Check her card that day for her food card, because she gave it to me to use that day.
Okay.
And that'll show what stores I was at and when. I only used that one
But that
store.
still doesn't account that.
I get what you're saying. I get that. But as far as the money, I didn't know he meant like over the span. That's why I said
you said over the span,
I thought like when she was sick. I'm sorry.
Over the last 2 years,
she wasn't sick like that for 2 years. I misunderstood that. I see what you're saying and I get it. I mean, obviously me and you are going to disagree because you're looking at me and you feel that I did this. I understand that. I get what you're saying. But I didn't. And you don't know, Lynn. You don't know the situation. And I'm telling you from somebody who does. I get you're a cop. You investigate. I understand that. But I didn't kill her. And money wasn't a motive. She had no life insurance. Which I've known that for 10 years. You know why she didn't have life insurance? Because her parents always had it. Her mom missed 2 months of not paying and never got it. That was her mother. So Lynn never had life insurance. That was, which I know. So what money am I going to get off that? None. I knew of all her debts. So what money was I going to get with her?
She told us before you didn't know. You said that.
Well, I mean, I knew. I get what you're saying. I know of I knew of quite a bit of debt, but I didn't know how bad. Let's put it that way, okay? Who knows?
But I don't know what she was spending it on.
Who knows what people? I mean, you can be with somebody every day and you don't know everything about them.
Sure. Very good.
You know, I personally do not know 100% of this is what she spent her money on, or this is how much debt she was in, or this is how much money she had.
Let me just ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
You pull the average person off the street who has no law enforcement experience, no experience, and a very unbiased person, and you tell them that this lady who has no family and very few close friends suddenly becomes close to you, and $200,000 has been issued over the past couple of years.
Suddenly? I've known Lynn since I was 4 years old.
That suddenly you're taking care of her.
And that's 31 years of my life. So.
What do you? And then you tell them that this person has the most access, and pretty much, as you said earlier, you're the only one dealing with her those last few weeks of her life. You go to the fact that the scene was clearly staged because she has no pills in her system. You know, she has the 2 in her stomach, but as far as her bloodstream and where the metabolism ends right there when you die, there's nothing in her system that would suggest she was overdosed. So, what would the average person think? You tell me.
I don't know.
And that you were the last one. And that
I mean, when you're telling me this and saying staged, I would think, okay, I know I didn't do it, so did she do it? I'm not saying, I'm trying to look at this from the other angle because I know what I did and didn't do. So I'm trying to figure it out as you guys are, and it's frustrating to me because I assumed this whole time she was taking her pills. And that's what happened. That's what I believed personally in my heart. So I am wondering the same thing when you're saying whatever, they mix it or they put it in and shit have it hours before. I thoroughly want to know more about this myself because I've never heard of this. So I want to know how long you have to take this, or when does it show, or I want to know the same things because I don't buy it. I don't buy it that I had to help her take that. She couldn't take it herself. I don't understand that. And I don't understand that it was taken right before. I don't understand that because I don't know anything about it. I really don't. I understand things happen with pills. I'm not saying that's what she died of. Obviously, she didn't die of. But even that, I know it takes a lot. I watched my mom try to commit suicide twice. Okay? Didn't work. I've watched Lynn do it once before with pills, or at least get so sick where she puked them all over. I've seen a lot. I know a lot in that sense. I don't know much about
Agreed, because we didn't know either about
I
think the most we all thought was the same thing you saw in Wedding Crashers, the movie, when you see that. So when we find out about
and
it,
to hear somebody can actually die that way, that's even more.
Exactly, it's really odd. So when you start putting, so like, why would she do that? Let's say Lynn was able to figure this out. Hypothetically, she was able to figure it out. Why would she have to stage the pills? Why would she do that to herself? I'm gonna kill myself, Chris, by using Visine, but then to make it look good, I'm gonna like put a bunch of pills here. That's where, if you ask the average person, it's gonna be that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
And you're the only one with the access. You're the only one there. You're the last one. Hour or two. Actually, you're leaving around. I mean, it could have been there longer, but our phone has you there around 12:30, and then 4 hours later, you're back there finding her. I don't know. It looks odd.
Yeah.
To help us explain.
I get it. I get what you're saying. I don't know how much more. I mean, I'm just trying to pinpoint everywhere I was that day, what I did. I don't remember being there that long, but I get it. Phone records. I'm not going to deny them. If they show it, I only remember what I did that day when I was there that day. You know, that's I can give you bits and pieces or time frames. I didn't feel I was there that long that morning. Maybe I was. I really don't remember it, to be honest. And I didn't think I was even that day. But I will agree. I told him in years. I watch Live PD and all that. I watch all of it. So I know how the phone works. I know how things work. I'm not stupid. So when you say it, I'll take your word for it in that sense. He asked, "Oh, are you going to find anything in your searches?" No, you're not. Search away. I don't have anything to hide in that sense. You can look at my financials and think I'm a joke and I did whatever. But like
I know you like to gamble.
I told him, I said, when it comes to money, that is not, I would never kill somebody for money. I mean, and I don't see why you guys would think that with her, because she didn't have it.
Hold on.
So why?
Because him and I disagree, but we agree on one thing, that you probably gave her some Visine. Yeah. That's what we agree on. Just motive we disagree on. Did you ever met Lynn's cousin, John?
What?
Lynn's cousin, John Fryatt. You ever met him?
No.
The reason this whole thing started upstairs with the medical examiner is John Fryatt's a former U.S. attorney, retired, and he thinks Lynn's death was suspicious. Okay. So he went up to the medical examiner's office and just asked the question, "Hey, I'm a prosecutor for 37 years. Lynn wasn't
this wasn't Jim out of curiosity?
No.
Jim
poked around too, but John went there first. And he said, I'm a prosecutor for 37 years, and Lynn was good friends with his mother, I think. His mother was in a home. Was that Lynn's aunt then? It could be.
Because she always talked about her, but I never.
And so he goes, the family tends to think, and again, I don't know that well, but this doesn't pass the smell test for me. Is everything in her autopsy correct? And that's what makes Dr. Linda look at her file again, because she was in the stack of routine problems. I'll get to this when I get to this. I have real criminal cases.
I understand that.
And that's when she looks at it, and
I don't know who he is.
She actually apologizes, saying, Chris, I missed this. She has all these medicines in her.
Yeah.
And then I overlooked this one, and I didn't know what this one was, and then she did her research, and that's when she found out that we have a problem. So again, I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. I think you're a likable, decent person with a big heart. I think Lynn was dying. She was sick, and you helped her. And if I had to go in front of a judge, that's what I would say. I don't want to put him in front of her going, hey, look at all the money, because that would feel bad too.
Let me ask you, how much money did you make at Potto last year?
We did a jackpot.
A jackpot? How much do you think is the most you ever spent at a player at Potto on one night?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know. We hit a jackpot. That's why you think I
thought it. I got the extra. So I'm asking. I'm like, that's why I'm asking. Yeah. Because of its a span of over time. I mean, it's. I don't know, Jesse. I'm just trying to wonder where $200,000 went. Do you have $200,000 sitting in your bank account?
No.
Because you dress like a normal person. There's no Gucci or Louis Vuitton stuff. You're not a junkie. You're not putting it in your arm.
No. My arms are completely clean.
You're not a big jewelry girl.
No.
You don't have a fancy car.
No.
You live in a meager house that's rented with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Where'd the money go?
Where'd it go?
Back in the day, I mean, I used to have a bunch of stupid loans and dumb stuff. I don't anymore. We paid off debt. That was really all it was back in the day.
I don't believe you have nothing to do with this. And I want to give you all the opportunity to come up with a plausible explanation. And again, I don't think you killed her.
I get what you're saying. I get. I mean, I know we're going back and forth. I didn't help her. I guess the best thing I can say is keep investigating and look, because it wasn't me.
What do we keep investigating? You're the only one. You're the one taking care of it. You're the one that has access. You're the one that was there.
You're the one behind the hygiene.
You're the one behind the hygiene. So you tell me, where do we look? Tell me where to look then, because I'm the one that's kind of has this opinion. Chris has another opinion.
I don't know. I guess I would start looking into the other people in her life then, because it wasn't me.
Oh, you were there till 12:30. She wasn't freshly dead when you showed up at 4:55. So in that 4-hour span, there was nobody there. A minute ago, you're telling us that she did this to herself.
I think she did, but you guys don't, and you think it was me. So I don't know what to think with that. I didn't help her. And if there's somebody that helped her, then you gotta look somewhere besides me, because it wasn't me. I did not do this to her.
Would you take a polygraph?
Yeah.
You take a polygraph.
I will take a polygraph. I know they're not used in court, and I know, how people feel about them, but yes, I would.
What do you feel about them?
I don't know what to think about anything to do with justice and the criminal system, I'll be very honest.
What does that mean?
I don't have a good, strong opinion either way.
And the reason you're in the system is you did what you did.
I don't. And I agree with
It's
that.
your responsibility.
I back that 100% and respect that. I feel that what I got is what I deserved for a first-time offense and being in trouble? No. I'm not saying I hate all cops or I love all cops. I have friends that are cops. I'm impartial. I don't like to say one way or the other because I agree with some things and don't agree with some things.
That's fair.
So. And I know there's a reason lie detectors aren't allowed in courts, because sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Do you know that they're allowed in some district court, in some courts? It's just not in Wisconsin.
Oh, I think that's all. I didn't know that.
No. Wisconsin's progressive in some aspects. Yeah. They're fairly accurate.
Oh no, I'm not saying they're not. I don't know if they are or aren't. I'm saying I know there's a reason we don't allow them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I wouldn't take it. I didn't say that. I did not say that. I mean, at this point, I'm willing to do whatever I need to do so you guys can see that it wasn't me. That's where I'm at. I don't want, because I asked you a question before and I still don't agree with it. I feel like right now I am being charged with murder.
You're not.
I feel like I am.
I mean,
I would tell you. I would tell you.
you would say.
I would tell you.
You're in a probation hold. And I was fully honest with you when you're on a probation hold, it's because of the financial stuff. Your PO was unhappy about all the money you've received over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 100% truth.
So if you guys are done investigating, then when are you moving forward?
We're not done investigating.
We're done investigating.
Well, you just made it sound like you were done investigating. You just said, what more is there to investigate?
No, I said, tell me who else to investigate.
Yeah, if you have a plausible lead, I'll take it.
I wish I did.
Because now everything points at you. That's where we're at.
I wish I did. That's why that was the first thing I said to you. Well, she was in the hospital recently. I wanted to know why the hospital didn't see this and the medical examiner did. You told me that they feel it was done the day of. I don't agree with those theories.
Originally, I thought it was
I get it. They have a license and I don't. I would think this was something done over time, or I would think that stay in the hospital, something would have came up. I don't see how.
Made my case better. Originally, I thought that you did this
so glad everyone thinks that.
for nefarious reasons, because I thought it was over time.
Yeah.
And I thought over a 30 or 60 day period, you were giving her a little bit in her pudding or her jello or her coffee every day And that's how it built up in her system to such a degree. And the doctor says that's not what happened. So that threw my theory out of the way, which again puts you in a better light in my eyes going, well, you have a sick lady that's asking you for help, and you assist it. That's kind of where I spun this in my brain, because, again, we talk to people about you. I mean,
I get it. I'm sure you do.
You don't fit the profile of someone that's going to cut someone's throat. That's not you. You're helping a lady in her worst times.
Yeah.
That takes a special person. And when I say helping a lady, not your mom or your father or your brother. They're helping a stranger, for lack of a better term. When I say a stranger, you know what I mean. It's not blood.
Yeah.
It's
like my mom, though.
But you're taking care of her at her worst time. And that says something about a person. So I was hoping it was over a little bit every day. It's building up in her system. And eventually, Lynn got more and more compliant and lethargic, and her system shut down. But that's not what happened. Which spin more to his theory then. So, I have to excuse myself for a second. I got a little bit of a thing going in my tummy.
I'll just give it a minute.
I cleaned the bathroom.
Yeah,
like right to keep my hands. Okay, sorry. I'm like, I really have to go. Any chance you guys want to go smoke a cigarette?
I don't swallow.
No, that's not happening.
I guess we're coming to an impasse about we're going to agree to disagree at this point. If there's something else you want to say about the events, I mean, well, I'll hear what
at
you have
this
to
time,
say.
I really don't. There's nothing more I can tell you guys at this point.
If you think of something, do you remember what my last name is?
Yeah, I have your email. I have your phone number.
Well, do you remember what it is?
Cool.
Yeah. Because we'll take you upstairs to the jail. You can always tell the communication form or tell the CO, I need to talk to Detective Cole. They'll get a message to me. If you think of someone or some detail or something that we're missing, I mean, we've been pretty thorough on this. We've had a lot of time to investigate. But you know her life better than us. If there's someone we should talk to or some detail that we missed, please reach out down. Otherwise, we may come see you in a day or two.
Am I going to be here for a while?
Well, you're here at least today and tomorrow. I'm guessing today. I mean, got the coffee field now, but you know how they work. They don't keep running down right now.
Is there any chance I can talk to her by phone for a moment? I'm just really worried about my job. I understand what you're saying. I never ran. I've always came in when she told me to. I'm going to lose my job.
I'm bound by certain policies. So what I'll do is I will call her and let her know that you really want to talk to her. And then if she says, if she wants to talk to you, I'll make arrangements through the jail to get you a free phone call to call her. And I'll go up there and we'll call her. This is my house, right? It's not Pewaukee County.
This is like, I'm supposed to go up north in 2 days. I have the kids coming. I mean, there's a lot going on right now that I'm going to lose my job. And I get she's mad, but she's never done this to me. I don't understand, and I know how they make you sit. I'll sit here for 2 weeks and I'll lose everything.
Well, she's mad about the money, and she's concerned about what we're talking about too. You can understand that, right? I mean, when we lay out the facts.
I completely understand.
I mean, this case is chargeable at this point. I tend to try to give. I mean, we're going to look at your phones and your computers and that kind of stuff. This case is chargeable at this point. You're not being charged at this time. Okay. You're on appeal hold, that's it. So
are you guys like having her sit me on this hold until you decide if you're going to charge me?
No.
Okay. So as of this point, you guys are telling her I'm not being charged with anything?
Yes.
Because it's going to determine, obviously, what you guys stay on top of it, too.
Yeah, we're not charging you. We're not charging you any financial crime, and we're not charging you with any death stuff. We're not charging you with anything.
And she understands that, or she will right now.
Yeah, she's been on vacation.
Is she back?
She's back today. I went through that to you. I made sure we coordinated this, that she...
I mean, I would have came in open willingly. This is...
Well, I think she wants to send a message.
I get it. But I've never not done anything she's asked me.
She said that
That's why I
restitution on time, everything.
I mean, we have 2 little kids at our house normally, and if they would have been there today, my boyfriend would have told me to get the fuck out and never come back. That's how bad, like, this would have scared the shit out of the kids.
Okay, this isn't a forgery we're investigating. It's a homicide.
It's a big deal.
And you never know. Again, you think you know someone by looking, but you and I talked one time in person. You think you know someone, but I don't know. I didn't know your guy at all. I never talked to him. And we come there and there's a confrontation and then something bad happens and I have to explain why we didn't go there with the way we're supposed to.
No, I get it.
So I apologize for that.
I mean, I could have came in though. That's what, I mean, this was just, I feel like it's worse because, you know, I could have just came in. And I feel like had I told you I've been here Tuesday at 9, this would have never happened. That's what makes me feel even worse. Because
you would have came in and then we would have put, the hold would have been on you. We would go up to the jail. You just wouldn't have had the marshals come get you.
I'm very surprised. Do you realistically know how long she's going to keep me holding?
I have no idea. I'll talk to her today.
I swear to God, this job, they're going to just drop me in right now. Obviously, I need it. I'm too new right now, and we literally, it was me and one person today. One person, so they're going to freak out. It's not good.
Hang in there. Let's go get you upstairs, get you moving, and second I'll give the PO a call. Let you know that we're done talking to her.
I mean, is there any way, like, you can call her while I'm still here so I know, like, that you talked to her and what she said, or...
We'll see what the boss said.
If you'll let, please. I'm sorry.
I got you.
With the water. Put him on in front system.
Do you know if he contract review?
He's going to, yes. Yeah, he's going to take gifts or anything like contract review. In case, not going far, but.